This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
But teacher, when are we ever going to use math in the real world?
With Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on AutoTrader, you don't have to. At least not car math. Hit the road with confidence knowing exactly what you're going to pay each month for your car. AutoTrader.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, for reasons that no one can explain, residents in 2 English towns are dealing with a serial cat shaver. And if you thought I said cat shaver, it's because I did. An alarming number of owners are reporting that their pets are returning home with parts of them shaved. Odder still, this has been going on for 7 years. Now, you might look at your pet and call it your buddy or your family member, but in most states, including Washington included, your pet is your personal property. So someone shaving your cat, and again, this is not a euphemism, your actual pet, someone shaving your cat, ridiculous as it is, it's an act of vandalism. Now, that said, your car is also your personal property, and when someone vandalizes that, you are going to be pissed. Now, if you were listening to this award-winning program last Thursday, you might remember the shot of the day involving a young woman in Florida who was mad at her ex-boyfriend. Well, in an act of revenge, she spray-painted his car with yellow spray paint. It should be noted that she targeted the wrong car, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, if someone woke up to a ruined car, that person would be angry. Now, my question is, would you rather have someone shave your cat or spray paint your car? I mean, look, man, they're both your personal property. Both you're going to take personally. Hopefully your cat's fur grows back, but the car costs money. That's how I break it down. But the reason I ask that is because today is the Random Would You Rather Wednesday here on the Men's Room, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration. And it's simple. You give us a call, we will put you in a hypothetical situation. Would you rather this? Would you rather that? And remember, there are no wrong answers. However, after your answer, there's a good chance we're going to tell you why you're not right.
Be a part of the big show, the Random Would You Rather question. Call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, but tell us away we go. Welcome to Season 20, episode number 4,274. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Who Sucks Less is on the way at 4:30. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people in the news doing messed up stuff.
Yeah, this week is, look, 2 weeks ago, people were mad at me. And again, don't get mad at me. I'm telling you what other people did. But I listened, so we dialed it down a little bit. And I would say this week, a little bit more of a dial down.
Yeah, that was
Two
good.
of them, look, they won't even make you mad. They're just stupid. And you go, you should know better. And then the other one, we brought this up briefly, I believe, earlier this week. It has to do with Hewlett-Packard. Should you call them with any trouble?
Oh, okay.
It's a small change they've made to their customer service.
Bad business practices.
Yes, especially for people like myself.
It is up to you to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Who Sucks Less is coming up at 4:30. Good news, by the way, concerning the Miles Montgomery Golf Classic, which is Monday, June 9th. At beautiful Jefferson Park Golf Course, foursomes have been selling. We found out today, man. People are fired up for this. It's going to be a great day. It is a shotgun start at 8 o'clock. The tournament is a scramble format tournament. We'll have breakfast.
If you're like me, you have no idea what any of this means.
Okay.
So shotgun start.
A shotgun start means everyone starts at the same time at 8 a.m. Right after
Different
breakfast.
holes?
Everyone's on a different hole.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
You have 2 foursomes per hole. All right. So you have an A group and a B group. A group goes first.
Okay.
A lot of these holes have a lot of different things, we will say.
Picture like miniature golf, but more disgusting and vile.
Except for on a regular regulation golf course.
Correct.
Yes, exactly. But there'll be some crazy challenge holes. We've got a lot of different stuff going on. But the idea behind a scramble is that out of the 4 players on one team, they all drive on a hole. They all take a shot, and you take the best ball, or the ball that you want to take, out of the 4 teammates. And then everybody hits their ball from that point.
Okay, all right.
And then you rinse and repeat. You get up to the green, you do the same exact thing.
It's my kind of golf.
Yeah, exactly. So it moves along pretty quickly. There'll be a lot of drinks out there flowing. The Men's Room IPA will definitely be there, along with the 20th anniversary lager. But it's a great time, and if you would like, our friends at the Fisher House are going to be there.
Which is excellent.
We're going to have a challenge hole with them as far as your ability to donate directly to the Fisher House. You could hit a golf ball to the Fisher House location.
Yeah, pretty much.
By Jefferson Park. But to sign up now, if you want to get in on the fun, we have all kinds of prizes. You'll get a goodie bag. The grand prize is not only will you go see Shinedown here in Seattle, we're going to fly you and the winning group to Salt Lake City to check out the show over the weekend. Yeah. So there's a lot of cool prizes, a lot of tickets to Halloween Hullabaloo, which we haven't even announced yet.
But it's happening.
You'll be VIP for that. Depending on, we have Creed tickets. I'm sure. Hey, look, man, you say what you want about Creed. I'm sure that they put on one hell of a show.
They sold like 10 million albums. So I know, quote unquote, everyone hates them. I'm like, well, a whole lot of people are buying their album, whether you like them or not, it seems.
Yeah.
And look, I never had a problem with Creed. It was Scott Stapp. He just seems so douchey, right?
Well, you listen to Ultra Bridge. You know,
they were good.
That's just Creed without Scott Stapp, right? They're great musicians. I'd go see Creed in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would now. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there was a time there, like anything else, where people have their ups and downs in their life and their career and all that stuff. Nickelback got bashed for a while. Every time we play Nickelback on this station now, I have the song stuck in my head.
For hours, man.
For at least an hour afterwards. So, you say what you want, but you know a catchy tune when you hear one. So I have some Creed tickets for you. Last place gets one small T-shirt. So even if you suck, you'll walk away with something, including that goodie bag and all the details. And you can sign up at KISW.com. I know a bunch of friends have already signed up that I know of. I know the fine folks at Albert Lee Appliances. Over in Ballard, they have a foursome ready to go.
All right.
And it's all sponsored by Pinky's Plumbing. I know they'll have stuff out there. Hopefully we'll get the sausage, the salsa, and everything else. It's just going to be a day to drink, hang out, have a good time, and have some fun on the golf course. Steve, I know you are involved in the heckle hole, which basically means with a microphone, every single person that gets up on a tee box, you're going to individually roast them as they get ready to hit a shot.
You got to play to your strengths, man.
Even when they're swinging.
And golf itself, not my strength, but calling your ass out and making fun of you, yeah. Unsolicited. Yeah.
So this is the first ever KISW Miles Montgomery Golf Classic. We hope to continue this for years to come. But sign up now, be a part of the first very one. It's going to be a great time. So it's Monday on June the 9th at Jefferson Park Golf Course. Okay, today is the day we do our random Would You Rather question. Would you like me to give you a random Would You Rather question?
Yeah, man, let's fire up the brain. See how I'm feeling today.
Okay. We do have a number of Would You Rather that involve animals, as they have appeared in the news. But we'll go just with this standard one. Would you rather give a gorilla an old-fashioned or have him give you one?
Is this allowed?
Yes.
Oh, criminy.
I'm going to give him one.
You go to the
give him
zoo?
one.
You're gonna hook him up.
Yeah, because here's my thought. Gorillas are so much stronger than people, right? So you're used to your own push and pull, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I just think with the gorilla, he will apologize.
Now you have to,
but when he's removed my genitalia from my body, not because he's angry. I just think that is the end result of a gorilla.
The only asterisk to this is you have to maintain eye contact the entire time. Which either one you pick, it's eye contact the entire time with the gorilla.
I'm hooking up the gorilla.
That's really dangerous with a gorilla, by the way. Don't do that.
Eye contact?
Don't look him in the eye.
I think in that moment they make a pass.
I think they know.
Right? There's a lot of things that ordinarily would offend me, right? But if I'm in the throes of passion, say what you want. Man.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Steve.
It's also very well known that gorillas are not as far as their size go, proportionally speaking, They are not
They're not well endowed.
They're not well endowed.
No.
They're really not.
For that size of an animal.
Actually, believe it or not, I want to say...
their hands are huge.
But human beings have a larger penis than a gorilla.
Right.
Think about that.
Right.
You think about the sheer size of us, like... He's looking at me like, I'm jealous. Like, well, you should be.
I don't need him to know that. I don't need him to get jealous and angry at me.
So you think he can expose himself?
He's the man. I'll just take care of him.
I will say this. Okay, when I was in college, I dated a girl on and off. Basically, she had a boyfriend back home. Mm-hmm. But I dated her. She played volleyball. All right. And I met her in the weight room. There's an athletic facility weight room that you can use if you're playing. She played volleyball. So I kind of met her there. She was one of those people, man, who was always in the weight room. Now, one thing about her was that other than the fact that, I won't get into too much detail on this, but she lifted a ton. And she had calluses on her hands. Her hands were like you're dating, someone who, I don't know, is a cement worker.
Right.
Or is a bricklayer. I mean, it was rough. Her hands were rough.
We got any Jergens here or something like that?
So I think I'm gonna take care of the gorilla based on the fact that I don't know how soft their hands are.
I think a gorilla would have reasonably soft hands, man.
I don't believe so. Those big black paws,
they got big hands, but they're eating berries and stuff. Like, look, other than the fact that they can rip your arms off of your body, they strike me as like, look,
they're not moisturized.
If you don't look me in the eye, I'd be like a chimp. Rough hands, right? They're always fighting, breaking stuff. They actually use tools.
Yeah.
Gorilla's like, bro, I'm picking berries and sitting on my ass. I literally don't do it. I don't even know why I exist.
Lordy.
I think gorillas are like, why are we here?
Mm-hmm. Right.
We don't really do anything, man. I mean, we're eating berries. I got a tiny penis. Us and panda bears. Like, why are we on this planet?
Not to mention, I wouldn't be able to focus if the gorilla was hooking me up.
Yeah,
but you're saying you could focus if you're hooking him up.
You can't.
I have a mission that I'm doing here. Whereas if it's the gorilla, again,
you got to maintain eye contact. Man.
Right.
Are you embarrassed if it goes to completion? If the gorilla's hooking you up.
Idea.
No, but what's better or worse that you say, look, man, this gorilla started doing this thing. And you go, oh, man, that sucks. You're like, dude, it was awesome. I mean, like, I can't explain it. But
Texter says gorillas walk on their knuckles. You're good. I'm not saying
you'll be fine, man.
I know that. But
soft hands is my point.
I don't think gorillas have soft hands.
I think they do.
I'm going to Google
if I had to bet, do gorillas have soft hands?
Yeah, I'm Googling it.
Dude, gorillas.
What do you think, Mike?
I think they do have soft hands.
I do think they, because like I said, they're not.
Is it baby soft?
Somebody knows. Oh, they basically have 4 thumbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're opposable. All right, well, that's a bonus.
Are they soft?
Okay, let's see here.
That's why they're permanently in that.
Yeah.
Permanently ready to go there.
They already have the Kung Fu grip.
Yeah. Right. Well, no, that's the problem. Gorilla hands are stout, but they have short thumbs because they walk on all 4 limbs.
Right.
So their knuckles. Their knuckles are
going to have calluses. I'm saying,
right.
look at that palm. That's a soft palm right there, man.
Their palms are not so long as those of chimpanzee hands.
No way a chimp's doing it, man.
No.
They have a greater ability to handle things than chimpanzees.
Okay,
that
boom,
tells me
done.
That tells me there's more grip.
There's more dexterity.
No, but that's done. You're just telling me like they're already more versatile with their hands. Like, okay, man, you can switch from the Kung Fu grip to the Texas Hold'em. Like,
that's right.
Do what you're gonna do. What primate do you think has the softest hands?
Sloth.
No, I'd go with orangutan on that one.
Gorillas have a strong grip, very strong.
I'm sure their grip is. Are their hands soft?
Ooh, they have sweat glands in their palms to keep them lubricated.
Oh, dude. Boom. Boom. I told you, man. I told you that is the way to go.
But they also can use their back legs like they can use...
Hey, whatever you got to use, brother.
Their hands.
Mm-hmm. You can get all 4 involved.
All 4, yeah.
All right.
I'm telling you, that's the way. If you got to be in that situation and you're given a choice...
Muscular arm.
Let the gorilla hook you up.
Oh, Lordy.
Some have black hair on their palms and skin.
That's okay. They're soft.
All right. Well,
random.
You said,
Hey, man, I was going with what I believe, and that doesn't quite prove it, but that leans in my direction.
Okay.
Soft palms, opposable thumbs,
Moist palms.
moist palms. We're gonna need, Mike, put your Jergens away, brother. I'm just going hot 2 on that thing.
Whatever happened to her?
Exactly what you thought.
She had a bit of a fall from grace there.
Yeah. I know that, but I mean, you figure she'd be back by now.
Nah.
How long are they going to let?
Right,
we know what you like. You said what you have to say. People probably want to hook up with you, but
Her bit shouldn't have lasted as long as it did.
She wasn't interesting. She seemed easy.
She can get gigs showing up at places. They pay her like if you have
Where?
I don't know.
What bar am I at where they go, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest, Hog to a girl.
Don't they have the cherry seed spitting contest in like Iowa every year someplace?
Something like that, but
I don't think she'd be spitting. Ping.
all of a sudden it's like, oh, listen to her podcast. Like, why?
Why? How much advice you going to get? We know where you're coming from.
It was a great clip. That should have been the viral clip of the year, 100%. But like beyond that,
and we appreciate you.
Right.
But I don't want to hear from you.
Right.
You are what we call a one-night stand. Do your hog tour and then get the F out of my house. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing more to you that I need to know.
All right.
Hello, Raymond. Welcome to the bedroom.
Marijuana and Adams.
Hola. Raymond, welcome to the program. The random Would You Rather question. Okay. All right, your name is Raymond. Raymond, would you rather have a pet rat for life? A pet rat.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have it for life, or eat a rat one time and never have a pet rat in your life?
Man, I'm eating that rat.
You're
I'm
damn
pretty
right
sure I
you
could
are.
barbecue him up pretty good.
Can you
Really? You're
can
just
you-
eating-
That way I wouldn't have to feed him, take care of him, or nothing.
I would take a pet rat.
No.
What,
how
what's
do you know
wrong
they're
with
how you know they're not friendly?
I mean, at that point, if it's a rat and it's my buddy, I mean, it's like any other. I got a dog, I got a cat. What the hell's the difference with a rat? At least rats giggle when you tickle them. Hey, man, look.
They do, don't they?
They do. Look, I'm not making this up. So, what is it, the Ig Nobel or IG Nobel Prizes?
Rat is safe to eat if grilled until crispy like duck and bacon.
There you go.
So, somebody won the Ig Nobel Prize because they spent time and money over a period of a year, I believe, to prove that rats giggle when you tickle them. So to me, if I got a pet that giggles when I tickle it, like, cool.
Yeah, and I'll tickle it all the way to the grill, and I'll cook that
You'd
damn
rather
thing
eat
up.
a rat?
Yes.
Do you just
don't-
not like rats?
I don't like rodents, no.
Okay, but you have 3 cats. 2 cats?
I do.
Three.
Three.
You have 3 cats.
Yeah.
Now, if cats were not domesticated, but they walked around the neighborhood like raccoons or something, you're aware that they're there.
Oh, yeah.
They,
I see them all the time.
would you like them?
Yes.
For real?
For real.
What is the difference between a rat and a cat as far as...
Rats are gross.
All right. Here you go.
They're nasty.
Rats are eaten regularly in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, parts of the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Ghana, China, and Vietnam.
Yeah.
You know where cats are? City streets. Doing just fine.
I think they might be getting
Living
eaten over
great
there,
life.
too, brother.
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, once you get a cat, as far as mammals go, right? So I'm not stepping into the reptile world, but, like, dogs you come home, they greet you, they're happy to see you, they follow you around, you can kind of communicate. Cats communicate. I kind of know what's up with Rainbow. I know if you want to be
You might love a pet
but
rat.
But it's. I feel like a rat would be somewhere between a cat and a dog as far as it greeting you and being happy to see you.
Those rats were happy to see me with that big plate of cheese in that alley in Baltimore, man. They just stood up. They're looking at me like a prairie dog.
They're starving.
They get real high up, and the light shines on them, and all you see is like hundreds of red eyes in an alley.
Oh, yeah.
Nasty damn things.
More of the random Would You Rather question coming up 206-803-ROCK.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
Like I have the power.
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
what he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Slow drain being a pain? Call Pinky. That pipe's being a little leaky? Call Pinky. When the toilet won't flush and you're in a rush? Call Pinky. When your shower lost all its spray power? Call Pinky. When your sink's on the blink? Call Pinky. Pinky's Plumbing promises to lick all your plumbing problems quick. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Smart Travel doesn't just cover points and miles. They break down all the financial aspects of your trip, whether that's the best days to book, how to avoid hidden fees, or which fancy travel credit cards pay off, and which ones are just an expensive flex. If you want your travel budget to work harder, then dive into the best deals, products, services, and more with Smart Travel from NerdWallet, wherever you get your podcasts.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code ODYSSEY. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
Yeehaw! It is random. Would you rather question? 206-803-ROCK.
So you asked, would you rather eat a rat once and never have to have a rat as a pet, or have a rat for life as a pet?
As a pet, correct.
And I said, man, I would take one as a pet, because in the end, a pet is just whatever random-ass animal. Like I said, I got a dog. I got a cat. My daughter has fish. She has a freaking snail and 2 shrimp. But I was saying to Mike, because you have 3 cats.
Correct.
And the thing about cats is the thing about cats that everyone knows. They're just these murderous things. And I was just saying, like, your dog greets you when he gets home. He gets all excited. Well, someone here on the text line says, I have 2 cats. They both greet me as soon as they get home. In fact, they demand that I greet them.
Yeah.
Do your cats greet you?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
All 3?
They are all there at the front door by the time I get home.
Even Gomez. He would scream at me.
Was he the blind one? Or?
Yeah, he was blind and partially deaf. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Who was the one with the broken legs?
That was Gomez.
That was Gomez.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. My cat doesn't greet me, but at 9:30
we got
every
run over
night,
by a car. Kind of must have.
Yeah. 9:30 every night, this cat screams for me.
Yeah.
Every single night at 9:30. And it is so freaking annoying, I can't even put it into words.
What's the deal? Lap time? What?
Yeah, just lap time. And then, so you go to the cat, because you've been screaming for me, and I see you looking at me, directly at me, screaming for me. But Steve. So you go down, and then I'll run 5 feet away. Now you go to bed and you run 5 feet away again. And then when I turn around to leave, because I'm like, F this, now you're between my legs, and I go down to pick you up, and you run 5 feet away again.
It's a game, man.
No, see, it's not. A game is when both of you know you're playing. It's just annoying.
You said you came back from a trip, and your daughter's snails somehow had fornicated.
I did not know that snails can asexually reproduce, is what I discovered. So we
on
went
their own.
On their own. So we went to Texas for my son's volleyball tournament. My daughter stayed home with some friends. And so I left on, Friday morning, I believe I left. I called her Saturday morning just to check up on her. Hey, baby, how you doing? Dad, I'm okay. There's something weird in the fish tank. Well, come on, man. What's going on in the fish tank? She's like, what did you name her snail? Umber, because it's brown. Anyway, Umber had babies. So how in the hell did Umber have babies, man?
Umber or Ember?
Umber. Umber is more the color brown, you see.
Uh-huh.
Hence, and it's a brown.
All right, so the snail's still alive. All the ones that
not all the ones, but it basically, it seems like this snail, and I have since found out that, yes, they can reproduce on their own. If
right,
they're
but
just in
there
mood
was
or
20
whatever.
in there. So how many are in there now?
There was 20. Now it's down to like 7, but keep in mind, I don't know that any of the original 20 are any of the 7 that are in there. So the snail just seems like every once in a while, it's like, I want to be pregnant. It just blows these things out. It's a little weird, but you have to look for them, because when you go to clean the tank, they like to hover on the side of the tank.
Yeah.
And so as you're kind of scrubbing outside, I'm pretty sure I've taken out about 15 of them. Is my point, man. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
Daniel, welcome to the program. Random question. All right, let's go with this one. Would you rather have a color named after you, an insect named after you, or a song named or about you?
Well, that's an interesting choice.
I mean, there's a lot of things to consider, right? Because if you don't know the shade of the color, so in other words, we say, Daniel, we've named this Daniel, and it's like the worst shade of brown, it's not a compliment, you know? If we say we named a creature after you and it's a dung beetle, it kind of seems insulting. And
plus the fact you're more than likely not going to live in an area where these things are present, so you're never really going to be...
Taylor Swift kind of ruined it with the song thing, where you'd like to think you're being honored, but in the end, you're just getting thrown under the bus.
What do you think? Color, insect, or a song either named for you or about you?
Oh, let's go outside of the box. Let's go for insect.
Insect. Okay.
What kind of insect would you pick if it were up to you?
Well, definitely not a mosquito because I'll be flattened real quick, I'm sure. How about, it would have to be a flying insect, I would think. Something fast. How about like
well, dragonflies.
Like a bee?
I would think you go after a bee. All right, not bad. I mean, it says you're kind of a badass. People aren't happy to see you, but
I'm a hornet. I'm a wasp. I'm something badass.
I'm going praying mantis. I just stare at you and freak you out.
They're like the sloth of insects.
They choose to be, but when they got to move, they can hustle, man.
But you stop dead in your tracks when you see one. It's almost just like you've seen a unicorn.
I can't even. I've explained this before. The first time, I did not know what a praying mantis was. I had heard of the name before, but I was unfamiliar physically with what it looked like. I'm about 13 years old. We're in Northern Virginia, and me and another cousin are visiting a third cousin who lives there, but it's a fairly new housing development. The whole thing has not been completed yet. So he tells us, the youngest of us, I think he was 8 at the time, hey guys, let's go for a walk. He wants to see all the somewhat completed houses, abandoned construction sites, essentially. And we walk through there. And then at one point we say, all right, Jason, man, it's getting late. We should turn around and go home. Well, that's when he reveals to us that he is completely lost. Now, look, we don't live there, so we have no effing idea where we are. And I always remember we're standing in a future cul-de-sac. There's a bunch of half-built houses around us. And he's saying to me and Marty, the other cousin, he's trying to say, like, man, I think if we just do, and as he's saying this, he's about to put his hands on his hips. And this giant-ass bug, which we later find out is praying mantis, we did not know at the time, lands on his hip. And he did not notice that it landed there. And we both said, Jason. And we pointed. And I've never seen someone go into shock, but looking back, this is what happened. So he looked down, he saw the praying mantis, he looked at us, and then he took both of his hands, picture like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, take the palms of both hands and rake it over your face. But he just started going, that was his initial reaction. Then he drops to the ground and starts screaming, I'm doomed. Okay, so this thing had landed on his right hip. He falls on his left hip, which we thought was a stupid move, like crush this goddamn thing, whatever it is. He screamed, I'm doomed, for like 20 minutes. But me and Marty, because we're kind of laughing, but also like we don't know what this is, and this thing is huge, but it would not leave his side. So we're trying to get this thing to fly away. It wouldn't do it. 20 minutes later, we find a piece of whatever from one of the houses, and we flick this thing off of his hip. And once we flick it off, we just scream, run. So all three of us start taking off running. And this praying mantis comes zipping back and lands between the same cousin's shoulder blades, and he launches himself in the air. This face down on a gravel road, by the way. Slams down in the middle of this gravel road and just starts screaming. It wasn't biting him. It didn't sting him. It was just on him. And again, we don't know what to do because I'm kind of doubled over laughing like, Jason, man, calm down. It's not on you. I'm like, I know it's not, man. What do you want us to do? So Marty then found a log and said, look, man, I'm done with this ass because he was older than both of us. He's going to take the log, and his plan was, I'm going to smash this bug between your shoulder blades. Well, Jason's not having that, obviously, because it's also going to slam into his spine. So we're like, well, what do you want us to do? He's like, just get it off. And I'm like, look, man, I want to help you, but I don't know what it is. It's really big and scary looking. Like, I'm not getting near this. Keep in mind, during this whole thing, Marty and I are standing about 10 to 15 feet away from him the entire time until we're going to go in for the kill. And then finally, maybe, and I'm not making this up, it was probably 40 more minutes. This thing finally just took off, disappeared. We got up, ran away. We find our way back to his house, and there's like a family reunion kind of thing going on. It's not quite that, but there are a lot of cousins there, aunts and uncles. So his father, my uncle, comes walking down like, where the F have you guys been? And we said, man, we were walking around, get lost in the construction site and all that. And he looks at his son. He's like, you look like you've been crying. He's like, I wasn't crying. We're like, man, some big-ass bug landed on him. Totally dimed him out. My uncle goes, man, that's a praying mantis. And we're like, oh. He's like, Jason, God damn it, man, they don't bite. They don't sting. It didn't do nothing to you. He's like, it was just on me. To this day, I rang him about it. I rang him about it at his father's funeral a couple of years ago.
Reason we asked, would you rather have a color named after you, an insect, or a song? Drew Barrymore actually had a color named after her, the actress. You know you're a big deal, they say, when you get a color named after you, but even Drew Barrymore was shocked when the design company Pantone, which is famous for its color of the year, announced they created an official hue bearing her name in honor of her 50th birthday. So what color did Pantone choose?
What do you think, Mike? It's Drew Barrymore. We work at the paint company. We go, ooh, we should name this after Drew Barrymore.
I think it's some sort of shade of purple.
It is a shade of yellow.
Oh.
It makes sense.
They said yellow is a pastel that's as cheerful and warm as the talk show host herself. Interestingly, this shade has also been popping up all over the design world. Now, as far as bugs go, in 2012, a group of researchers from the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization in Australia, they were working with an unnamed and previously discovered species of fly. Throughout the research, they noticed that the fly seemed a lot more glamorous than the others.
What makes a fly glamorous? Do they explain that?
The dense golden hair. They said these species are the all-time diva of flies, and they called them Scaptia Beyonce.
You got a fly named after you.
In honor of Beyonce. By the way, some other colors named after famous people.
Well, tell us the name. Let's see if we can guess the shade.
Team Coco.
Oh, some sort of orange or red.
Correct. Named after the color of
Conan
his hair.
O'Brien.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Brady Blue, right there in the name from Tom Brady. Love symbol number 2.
Love symbol number 2.
Is there a band or artist put out a song called Love Symbol?
I'm just going to go generic and say it's a red.
It's named after Prince, so I'm going to assume it's a shade of purple.
Got to be a purple.
And Ultra Black by Nas.
Oh, damn. Damn, man. Wait a minute. What?
Ultra black.
You know when you see it.
I mean, I'd have saved that for like Seal. Or,
yeah, I mean,
damn, Nas.
You know.
Ultra black.
Everybody has different skin tones, no matter what it is. I mean, some people.
Some people get like ultra white.
Yeah, but some people are black. Some people are white. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, man. Damn, Nas.
I mean, on our end, you could be almost translucent. You know, you could be albino, but you know when you see someone who's black.
God damn. You think he was happy? Like, Nas, coolest thing, man. They named the color after. Yeah. What is it? Ultra black.
Ultra black.
Okay. All right.
And as far as someone, naming a song after you, I did read a couple stories today on this, but it's fairly interesting because we brought up the fact that Daryl Hall and John Oates have basically said that they're never, ever going to perform together again.
They do not like
So they're going through all this stuff. Daryl Hall just announced he's doing a solo tour and everything else. And somebody along the way in an interview asked him about the song Rich Girl. Mm-hmm. And he said, look, it was about a guy, but it did not seem to be it did not have the same ring to it when I wrote the lyrics.
Yeah.
He said, but I was dating this girl at the time, and her ex-boyfriend was the heir of the Kentucky Fried Chicken and some other pancake house in Chicago fortune.
Okay.
Right? So I guess this guy just was loaded and whatever comes with all that. So he knew that Daryl Hall wrote this song about him, but he was happy that he changed it to Rich Girl to kind of get everybody off the trail, so to speak. But then we also have the story this week of Dolly Parton's husband passing away. Now, know that they were together for 59 years.
Damn.
All right?
Did you ever see him?
No.
Look, I've seen a picture of him.
He chose that.
Right, since he's died.
That.
But you're just thinking 59 years, because she's been around basically that long, but you'd slip up once and you'd see a picture of this dude.
Now, when we get off the air every night, the lovely Jolene comes in. What is her theme song? It's Jolene, one of Dolly Parton's most popular songs. Now, the origin of that 1973 songs is making the rounds once again because it was written based on a situation that Carl Dean, her husband, was going through.
Going through, yeah.
Well, I mean, he wasn't really going through. Yeah. There was a bank teller in town in Nashville that was infatuated with him decades ago. And the bank teller was the main inspiration for the song about a woman desperate to keep the character from stealing her husband. Parton said in an interview that the red-haired teller had a terrible crush on her husband, Carl Dean.
And he was like redhead, yeah.
And that her husband of just 7 years at the time, I mean, they were together 59, just loved, he said, man, I just love going to the bank. And she said, yeah, because that woman pays you so much attention. He's like, yeah. Parton continued, it was kind of like a running joke between us when I was saying, hell, you're spending a lot of time at the bank. I don't believe we've got that kind of money. So it's really an innocent song all around, but sounds like a dreadful one. The teller's name, by the way, was not Jolene, though that name came about when a little girl who was a redhead, she was about 8 years old at the time, reminded Dolly Parton of that bank teller.
And that little girl's name was Jolene.
That little girl, she said, Parton said, what's your name, little girl? And she said, Jolene. And Parton said she went back to her hotel room after she said, well, Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. I said, that sounds like a song. I'm going to write it. I'm going to write a song about that.
That damn bank teller.
Parton has said since that many women have told her how relatable the song is due to the simple lyrics, kind of mysterious. During the interview, she also said she felt that the song, which has been covered by Miley Cyrus, White Stripes, Beyonce, among others.
Everyone on earth,
resonated with the ladies because no matter how beautiful a woman may be, you always feel threatened by other women, period. As for how Dean felt about the song, Parton said he was a little embarrassed because actually it wasn't as serious as it seemed.
And her name was Teresa.
But you know for a minute that if he wasn't married,
Random.
hard to turn down a redhead.
I like that he's like, I had to go through this. Being flirted with.
Yeah.
Redhead,
Horrible experience.
Hello, Jay. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. Jay, welcome to the program with a random question. Jay, for you, we're going to get extreme. Okay. Would you rather have a ceiling completely collapse on your head or be involved in an avalanche? What would you pick?
I would take the ceiling.
You're going to take the ceiling falling on top of you.
I would too, man.
Usually, I don't want to be buried in snow.
Okay, but there's some people who somehow find a way to kind of swim their way to the top. A lot of people do survive an avalanche. It's not the most common
a lot of people
outcome, but a lot of people don't. Matter of fact, they're still looking for a group of backcountry skiers right now in Alaska that they believe got swept away in an avalanche. So you're saying you're taking the ceiling falling on top of your head?
Yeah, I think I'm big enough. I can handle that pain a little bit.
Okay. All right. What are you guys taking?
Oh, no, ceiling.
I'm taking the ceiling. I'm taking this. Look, if for no other reason, I'm not cold.
Well, they say you're not cold because the avalanche kind of keeps you warm, but the fact of the matter
isn't that convenient?
You're so compacted in there, you can't get out.
Right. That's
your body
issue.
heat, basically.
Right, can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, and I don't like being stuck.
I don't like being
the ceiling
stuck.
coming down would make me stuck in some aspects for sure, but I feel like with the ceiling coming down, I'd have a hell of a lot more control to be able to get myself to some sort of a safe situation, or maybe I can try to move stuff, something like that. I feel like I could do better with the ceiling coming down on me versus getting tossed around and then compacted into the
I feel like
snow.
you don't lose hope under the ceiling.
Yes.
Where even if someone's coming to your rescue, it's not even like you can hear them, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But you've kind of already given up. You've come to terms with whatever. But also, I don't like snow.
All right.
So nothing would piss me off more than I'm in a snowy place, and I promise you, no, I don't. If I'm in snow, I don't want to be there. It does not matter the circumstance. So if I get buried in an avalanche, that's like a double FU from the universe.
What's one of the greatest things can happen to you if you actually go to the movie theaters and you're watching a movie? When you walk into the theater, what's awesome?
Empty.
Nobody there, right?
Sure.
My buddy used to run a movie theater, and we would do the midnight movies. We would do them on Thursday nights because the movie typically would come out on a Friday.
Yeah.
He would get the reels together on Thursday evening and give them a test run. Well, we would go in and watch all the movies before they came out the night before. So we're in a movie theater all by ourselves. It was awesome. And that sounds like a great idea because a couple had an entire movie theater to themselves on Tuesday night for the screening of Captain America Brave New World.
Nice.
That turned out to be for the best in a lot of ways. Partway through the film, the ceiling of the Liberty Cinema in downtown Wenatchee collapsed.
Jeez.
Neither customer was seriously injured. They heard some pops and crackling, and the gentleman stood up and took a peek. According to the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department, he walked up toward the screen, and as he looked up, he said, "Run!" Well, his girlfriend didn't have time to react before the ceiling fell around her and dumped on her, dumping debris all over. She was sitting one row behind the pile of wood and insulation.
Ooh.
Talk about an interactive movie experience, according to the fire department.
Jeez.
Theater was built in 1919, last remodeled in the 70s, and the drop ceiling evidently failed catastrophically all at once. The theater's owner said it's working with officials to figure out the cause of the collapse. We're really fortunate that this did not happen on a Friday night or a Saturday night when the theater was full.
No kidding, man.
Now we have a very unusual story out of India, and this is kind of crazy. An avalanche in a remote part of India. It did end up taking 8 people's lives who were working on a road construction project. The toll likely would have been much higher were it not for the metal containers that the workers were using as temporary housing. According to the BBC, about 50 workers were pulled out alive from the buried containers because they had just enough oxygen to sustain the men, some of whom were trapped in there for 2 days.
2 days?
They ran into those metal shelters, and most of their lives were saved. The avalanche struck Friday in the village of Mana. The Himalayan village is at an altitude of more than 10,000 feet and sits near the border with Tibet. So it's a little bit difficult to reach these guys. Winters are so brutal that no residents reside there year-round. Only laborers working on border roads stay there for the winter. So they got real lucky.
Somebody here says, I would 100% take the avalanche. For the sole matter of fact, an avalanche, most of the time, just snow, sometimes rocks. If the roof falls on you, you have insulation, pipes, wood, other various material. Yes, you would be disoriented in both situations, but imagine breathing in insulation while you were trying to gasp for air. Absolutely not. Look, man, neither is ideal.
No? More of the random Would You Rather question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
When it comes to healthcare, you want an option that works for you. If your health insurance believes they know best, maybe you need an alternative that believes you should decide. Take charge of your healthcare with Christian Healthcare Ministries. With no provider network and the flexibility to join anytime, you choose what works for you and your family. Whether you're navigating the diaper stage, getting your kids ready for school, or planning for early retirement, CHM's comprehensive programs grow and go with you through all life's seasons. Enroll today by visiting chministries.org/total.
I love the Marquette community. I think, it to me resembles a family of some sort.
You are coming to a place that is not only going to give you a great education, but I think it's going to make you a very well-rounded individual.
Especially because of the size, you can definitely find your people.
I came in and it was open arms. While you're here, we're going to try to make you feel that same love and make this place home. We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris, or the stunning beaches of Barcelona. Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the Striped Way. Visit condor.com today.
Look around. What do you see? Cars, lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends, did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars and used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions of options to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it. AutoTrader.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Random Would You Rather question, 206-803-ROCK.
I got another text about avalanches. It said, would you rather have a ceiling collapse on your head or be trapped in an avalanche? Somebody says, bitches, I was in a massive avalanche in Revelstoke, Canada, while backcountry snowboarding. It is absolutely horrifying. Okay, that part I imagine.
Hey, that's an avalanche we were talking about up in Alaska. Measured as deep as a 10-story building in places where those 3 skiers were lost. They had the parachute, they had the things that pop you up to the top and everything. They're like, they might be down a long way.
This guy says, I was lucky enough to have an avalanche beacon on and was found and dug out. I was under the snow for about 20 minutes, and I thought there was a good chance it was my time to exit stage left. I would choose the ceiling falling on my head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Hey, man, if you've been through an avalanche, I can believe that you would pick anything else.
Random.
Hello, Joshua. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, guys.
Hola. Joshua, welcome to the program. Random question. All right. This is going to be a tough one.
Oh, boy.
Would you rather eat one ghost pepper, or drink a gallon of someone else's loogies and spit?
Oh, my God.
Oh, gosh. Give me the ghost pepper.
You take the ghost pepper. Because
Yeah.
we know for a fact, I mean, this is hours. This is hours of absolute agony from what we know and watching videos. And these are just people who do the one chip challenge. I'm talking about eating an actual ghost pepper.
Yep. I'm taking the ghost pepper.
Yep. You're taking the ghost pepper.
Because I feel like I'm going to vomit about the same either way. But at least.
But it's not physically. I mean, look, let's assume that you drink this gallon and it does not mess with your body. Mm-hmm. All right?
Right. No one's sick.
You're not getting a disease or anything like that. You're fine when you're done with it. The difference is your body's not going to take the physical toll that the gas, the acid reflux, everything that you're going to get from this ghost pepper, it's going to be sticking around for hours on end.
It is hours on end, but it's just the pain, and eventually it was a capsaicin. Is that thing that makes peppers hot, right? So I just read about this. So the capsaicin, the reason it's hot, so when it goes on your tongue, right, you eat something super hot. And they were talking about the Carolina Reaper, which I believe is the hottest pepper on earth right now. But they said, look, it's not that it doesn't suck. It definitely sucks, but the capsaicin itself, it attaches to certain nerve endings on your tongue. All right. Your tongue specifically, but then it creeps up into your mucous membrane. And everything you do as a result, so the tears in your eyes and the runny nose, that's your body trying to flush it out. So you say it's from the pain, but it's actually your body trying to flush it out. So they said, look, the thing like a ghost pepper or these other peppers that have the high capsaicin count, whatever, Scoville count, they take longer to break down. So they're already hot. And they hit your body, right? And they cling onto these nerves. So they're like, you're not really tasting anything. It literally is just pain.
So it's just immediately trying to get out of your body. Your body's trying to reject it immediately.
Because these nerves go, oh, my God, we have been napalmed. So they send that signal to your brain. Your brain says, well, hell, if we've been napalmed, do everything to flush it out. So that's why people start drooling. That's why your nose runs. And it's not that I want to eat a ghost pepper, but the idea of drinking loogies. And sadly, I almost have an example of this. When I'm grown up, my grandmother, on my mom's side, she, when you're a kid, whatever you see, you're just used to it because that's how things are. Looking back, this is disgusting. So like anything, she'd be laying in bed half the time you would visit her. And on her nightstand, she had a empty half-gallon milk thing. And as she's talking to you, yeah, I mean, she would just spit it in there. But again, I grew up with this. I just thought that's what everyone did. It was just her. Anyway, I got to be about 11 years old. my 3-year-old cousin at the time, he did not realize that it was not milk. So we're all in there talking to her. I believe we were watching the movie Silverado back in the day. Just gotten cable. And that was on, and there was no nudity, so it was cool to watch. And my cousin, he walked over, he grabbed this milk carton, popped it open, started to tip it up, and everyone in that room screamed no at the same time. So he broke down in tears. He thought we were mad at him. We're just like, bro, do not drink anything in that milk carton. And even just the milk, and keep in mind, he did not drink any. You never saw the inside because it's, an opaque carton, but like the thought of that, even now, I'm just like, I'm going to throw the hell up. It is so gross because when she would first spit it in, you'd hear it hit the bottom. After you're there for 2 or 3 days, you realize it's the same carton. It's not making contact with the bottom of the carton anymore. It's just landing on loogie. So I never looked inside. I understood what was in there. So the idea of drinking a gallon of other people's stuff, I'm like, nah. Yeah. Nah, okay. Man, I can't do it. And sadly, that is based on personal experience. Like, no, just the thought of it is mortifying.
Okay. It is a random Would You Rather question, 206-803-ROCK.
Wait, somebody corrected me. Pepper X is now the hottest pepper in the world.
Well, they're all made in a lab anyway.
Yeah.
So you can continue to do this for the rest of your life if you want to.
But why do they feel the need to make it hotter, right? So the Carolina Reaper, the guy that put them together,
I think the challenge of it.
Well, for him, he was putting all the seeds together of all these different, I believe he leaned predominantly Asian peppers, which already kind of skew hotter. And he's like, I came up with this thing, and he goes, it actually tastes good when they're done with the pain. So his goal was not, he knew it was going to be hot. And his goal wasn't just to make it hot. It was also to have some flavor.
That's my only thing.
The problem is it's so hot, and he's a little better at it than normal people. But he's like, but I get it. It was a little hotter than I thought it would be. So by the time you get to the taste, you don't want anything to do with it.
I think jalapeno is as far as I'll go on the taste of enjoying a hot pepper.
Jalapeno, man, that's like the bottom rung of
that's what I'm saying. Like as far as the flavor. just the flavor aspect. Like I like a green pepper. I like any form of that. White, yellow, red.
What about a habanero?
I don't mind. I just like the taste of a jalapeno as far as I can take the heat. I just like the flavor of it. Like I love a verde type pepper, like an Anaheim pepper, or something like that, a green chili. I like the taste of those peppers.
I'm with you, Miles, on that. Jalapeno is probably the hottest that I go because I do enjoy the flavor of jalapeno. Habanero, I can stand the heat. I just don't really prefer the flavor.
That's what I'm saying. Like as far as the taste of it,
right? The flavor of habanero, like I can handle the heat. It's not that it's spicier than jalapeno for me, but I just don't like the flavor. Beyond that, I haven't tasted enough flavor to warrant the amount of spice that we're getting.
All right, so they have a quick list here. All right, so the Scoville heat unit of different peppers used. So bell peppers, 0. There's no Scoville.
I love the flavor of them.
All right, banana peppers that you get on your sandwich.
I love those too.
It's about 500.
Those are fantastic.
Poblanos, 1,000 to 2,500, and then jalapenos. Believe it or not, 2,500 to 10,000 Scoville. So
I grow them every year.
You might get a super spicy one. The Serrano peppers, one step up from jalapeno, but it won't kill you. The Tabasco / cayenne pepper, 25 to 50,000.
Okay.
All right, now the peppers. So a habanero is 100,000 to 350,000, and I'm good with a habanero, and I like the taste. I don't typically go above that. What shocks me here is that the Thai chili peppers, which to me are some of the hottest.
Oh yeah.
That you get Thai food.
Oh yeah, one to 5 stars.
It's below a habanero, man. It's 50,000.
That's why they ask how much do you want, because they could give you just a little.
Say 2. There's 2. But yeah, Carolina Reaper is 1.5 million to 2.5 million Scovilles, and as people pointed out, Pepper X, 2,693,000 Scovilles.
Not doing it.
Come on, man. Hello, Brock. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Brock, welcome to the program. And the random Would You Rather question. Let's go with this one. Would you rather, Brock, deal with a scorpion, an alligator, or a clown in the wild? So, would you rather deal with a scorpion, an alligator, or a clown?
The clown? Did you say clown?
A clown. Yeah, like a clown.
Well, I think I'd go with the clown in the wild, but...
Are you really thinking this through, man?
Right. You're not at just like a carnival or something like that. You're out just
dealing with a
walking.
clown.
Right. There's just a dude dressed up as a clown.
I'm in the wild, like out in the woods somewhere. Shoot. I guess I'm going to go with the scorpion.
You're going to deal with the scorpion.
I'm right there with you. Like the clown sounds funny, and then you go, wait a minute. There's a guy dressed as a clown in the middle of the woods, like nothing good.
But you got to remember, people who play golf in Florida, they encounter alligators all the time. So do residents there. But they're more common on the golf course because there's a lot more water. And they will take their clubs and just poke the thing and they'll run away.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who are walking their dogs, along the lake.
And the dog's gone.
And either the dog gets drug in or the woman walking the dog gets drug in.
Sure.
Both scenarios have happened.
I used to have a friend on his birthday every year. He would throw a party, and there'd be about 10 or 12 of us that would go bar hopping dressed as clowns. And to watch people's faces when you walk in like that, I'm like not a clown person, but it was funny just to watch. Either people loved you and came over and hugged you, or they totally freaked out.
Yeah, I will say this. It sounds dumb. I feel like if there's a gaggle of clowns, nothing bad's going to happen, right? So if it's 3 or more clowns, and this is just my unscientific measurement, you go, all right, that might be a little weird, but they'll probably have fun. They'll probably do drinks with you, take a couple pictures. A solo clown in the woods, my first thought is like Deliverance. Like nothing good is going to happen.
There's a bar on the Alligator Alley right in the middle of Florida. So if you're traveling between Naples, say, and wherever the hell your in-laws live.
Delray.
It goes straight across there. And it goes right through the Okeechobee Swamp. There's a bar in the middle that's a famous bar. And they serve, alligator bites and all the typical
delicious
grouper sandwiches, all that crap. Chicken wings. And the menu says all uneaten food and food particles go into the swamp.
Yeah.
So when you walk out the back door of this place, there's a huge deck, and if you have chicken wing bones, you throw those in the swamp.
Oh, so you're the one who actually disposes of them.
You're correct.
All right.
And then you put your basket out there on the table when you're done, and they have a place for you to throw away, the paper wraps,
sure,
your napkins and all that stuff. But you typically, any food that you don't eat, no matter what it is, you throw that into the swamp, and the alligators are waiting for you, and they'll just come up and you can feed them.
That's actually kind of cool.
It is pretty cool, but it's still kind of weird to realize that you're feeding alligators. And this is not, they are in the wild. This isn't like an alligator rescue or anything like that. If there is such a thing. This is just...
That's a rescue for everything.
Yeah.
Do they ever let anyone do that at the zoo? You know what I mean? Like, look, you could, I'm sure they let a kid
alligators
feed a fish to...
but they're dinosaurs. I mean, they...
Right, but I'm saying typically where you can see an alligator, at most zoos I've been to, you're walking through the enclosure, it's all swampy, it's warm, and then there are a couple of bridges that go over the waterways they've constructed, right? And these gators are down there in the water, and they're typically 10 to 15 feet below you. Like, all right, everyone, here's a chicken wing. Just toss it in and watch them eat. Because feeding time is always interesting to people at the zoo. I don't know why, but people like to watch animals.
You can feed alligators at the Everglades Alligator Farm in Homestead, Florida.
Yeah, but Florida doesn't count because you can do anything in Florida and they don't care.
You can feed an alligator in your backyard.
You can throw your ex-wife in the swamp. They don't care.
Reason we asked, would you rather deal with a scorpion, an alligator, or a clown? As far as a scorpion goes, we go to the home of the scorpion. Boston, Massachusetts. A woman trying to get her luggage from the baggage claim area at Boston Logan International Airport Sunday night instead got stung by a scorpion while grabbing her bag.
God.
The unnamed 40-year-old woman was taken to a hospital after the incident, but her current condition was unknown. Details of the incident were also scant, but an expert who was not involved in the case notes that scorpions don't typically target humans. It's conceivable that the scorpion could have somehow got entangled in some luggage unintentionally and got transported to Boston.
You
because
think?
Scorpions aren't common in the Northeast.
What?
Yeah. They said
Thanks for that.
Scorpion stings are incredibly painful, but are rarely life-threatening. Per the clinic's website at the Mayo Clinic, healthy adults usually don't need treatment for scorpion stings, but young children and older adults are most at risk of serious complications.
I think I would take the scorpion in this situation.
I would take the scorpion. My father got stung in the face by a scorpion when he was a kid. So he lived in Houston, and then in the summers, they would send he and his siblings out to a place called Eagle Lake. And he said it was the worst thing in the world. His grandparents owned a farm out there, and he's like, you got to get up and work on the farm. But he goes, this is not like some big functional farm. This is, some skinny-ass goat over there, half-dead cow. But, if you want to milk with your cereal, his grandmother was pointing, go get it. And he's like, so you're out to milking cows. Basically, he just said you would sit on the front porch, and there's a dirt road that led to this place. And you'd see a cloud of dust on the road, so you knew there was a vehicle, and you desperately hoped that it was someone coming to get you. Because honestly, that's all we would do. And every time I went by, you'd be pissed. Oddly enough, that's where he met Dan Rather, when Dan Rather was a kid as well.
Nice.
And he said he was
That's
a
crazy.
country bumpkin. But anyway, there was a scorpion on his washcloth, or on the towel. So he'd washed his face. He goes, I went to dry, and I pressed this towel on my face. I get stung by a scorpion. And he's maybe 10 or 11, I guess, the way he tells the story. So he's freaking out. His face swells up. Goes running to his grandmother. His grandmother's like, oh, baby, that's nothing to worry about. And so she grabbed whatever homemade remedy, like chewing up leaves and spitting it in his crap, and like just slapped it on his face. So an hour later, it was gone.
Damn.
All the swelling. Oh, yeah.
Now, as far as alligators, alligator attacks are extremely rare in Florida, with only about 8 unprovoked attacks occurring each year on average. Those statistics won't matter to a man and woman who were attacked by an alligator in Polk County while kayaking. A woman suffered a serious injury to her elbow, and she needed to be airlifted to the hospital. Now, at the time of the attack, the woman was paddling in a kayak in the county that encompasses hundreds of lakes that are home to some of the largest alligators in all of Florida. So Polk County specifically has some of the big boys in that area.
But you went kayaking there.
A 911 call followed the attack and was released and shared on the news. The caller can be heard telling the 911 dispatcher, we have 2 people bitten by alligators. The woman's arm is bitten really, really bad. And the man, I think, was bit in the leg by the same alligator. They go on to say that when they tried to move her arm to put on a bandage, she screamed so much pain that they could not get any bandage on. Dispatchers then asked if the caller would let them speak with the screaming woman, and they did. She couldn't talk.
What do they think she was going to say?
She just continued screaming. The saying in Florida is, if there's any body of fresh water, then chances are there is an alligator in it. Now, as far as the clown, a creepy clown who has been frightening people at a mall, allegedly tried to steal from some of the shopping center businesses, was arrested last week when confronted by police. The clown reportedly took an aggressive attitude. According to the report, the incident occurred in Uman, Mexico. Police were alerted to the clown's presence after shoppers and merchants reported him hiding behind a clock tower and bushes and scaring pedestrians. The merchants also reported to police that he had attempted to gain entry into their businesses. Now, when the police arrived on the scene, the subject, about 25 years old, he took off running from the area, even with his clown feet on. He did not get far, though.
Wait, he was still wearing clown shoes?
He was. He was apprehended shortly after fleeing just a couple blocks away. Now, following his capture, police found the clown mask among his belongings. He also did not go quietly and was charged with resisting arrest. Now, believe it or not, and this is true, around 8 years ago, a creepy clown craze swept across multiple countries, including Mexico.
Okay.
Incidents such as the one that just occurred in Uman, Mexico, were commonplace all over the country. Many people were arrested and or injured as people dressing up as clowns tried to pull off several ill-advised stunts and would get punched or would get into fights or get knocked out. Things got so bad with the clowns. Hundreds, if not thousands of clowns gathered in Mexico City to condemn the scary clowns that were popping up all over the country.
That is something I would love to see.
Holding signs that says, we are clowns, not killers. They chanted this during the gathering at the Revolution Monument to protest the trend. Now, more recently, a Georgia man claimed that he was out for a walk when he encountered a well-dressed man with a clown mask and a tricycle.
Was that scarier to you, Mike?
He claimed that he ended up being chased by the man who was still on the tricycle, and that clown was now wielding a machete. I was scared for my life, said the unnamed man, who asked to remain anonymous over concerns for his safety. He was swinging that thing. I was terrorized.
A clown face inside a clown garb where it's all loose-fitting. It's got the frills and the buttons and the funny colors and all that. Fine, that's a doggone clown. Business suit with a clown mask, that's some Joker-esque, man.
But
I'm running away from
them
that.
on a tricycle.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to control my ability to be around an alligator as best as I possibly can. Now, by playing golf in Florida, that's not always the case, but I also have a club on me.
Right.
And, you know, it
brings you some comfort.
It's going to do nothing to that
Now,
dinosaur walking.
I might not be able to see a scorpion someplace. I might step on that. That might sting me. But I, honest to God, think in this instance, the one thing that I do not want to deal with is a clown. Because that person is unpredictable.
Thank you.
They're in the woods.
They're dressed like a clown.
Right.
I mean, you don't know if they're going to have a machete or not. In one case, they did. Other case, you're just popping out, scaring people. But either way, that's not what you're expecting.
You know to stay away from the scorpion, stay away from the gator.
I'm in the desert, I'm not being shocked by a scorpion being there. And they're supposed to be there. From the swamp, I'm not shocked that an alligator is there. If I'm just walking down the street in Mexico City and a clown jumps out with a machete or whatever the deal is, I'm freaked the F out.
Yes. If you're not at a fair or a birthday party, clowns should not be there.
People are scarier than any other situation, right?
Yes.
Just generally speaking, because they can do things, they have a motive. But now you're also dressed as a clown. And Mike, to me, this equates to, yes, I know this man robbed a bank. It's that he did it naked, right? For whatever reason, whatever crime you want to commit, you just made it weirder by dressing as a clown. And naked clown would probably bug me the most.
I walk by the JP Patches statue every day on my way to the gym. And I look at that thing and I'm still like,
No.
I know it was a kid's thing, but
Naked clowns.
I'm just glad we
I'm
had
naked clown.
I'm glad we had Captain Pitt growing up in Pittsburgh.
Captain Pitt.
Those Captain Chesapeake in Baltimore. More of the random Would You Rather question coming up, 206-803-ROCK.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
Like I have the power.
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding gets softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Smart Travel doesn't just cover points and miles. They break down all the financial aspects of your trip, whether that's the best days to book, how to avoid hidden fees, or which fancy travel credit cards pay off, and which ones are just an expensive flex. If you want your travel budget to work harder, then dive into the best deals, products, services, and more with Smart Travel from NerdWallet, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Pinky's Plumbing presenting the KISW Miles Montgomery Golf Classic at Jefferson Park.
Pinky's Plumbing, man.
Yeah.
That's what you want your toilet to sound like.
Typically, I just jump off into the woods, depending on what I got to do, but sometimes, you know. That is on Monday, June 9th. We hope to see you for a great day of golf. Sign up your foursome now for a day of golf laughs and tons of beers with us. There'll be epic prizes. You get a goodie bag. You get breakfast. You get lunch. Hopefully, you'll have a few drinks with us. Tons of prizes.
You will.
Including a chance to go see Shinedown in Salt Lake City and tickets to see Shinedown here in Seattle as well. All kinds of prizes. It's going to be a great time. I do know for a fact, according to our sources this morning, the foursomes are going.
Yeah,
and they're going faster
moving
than they thought. So if you got 4 guys, 4 ladies, you want to get together and join us at Jefferson Park, head to KISW.com and sign up your foursome now. And we'll be joined by a lot of our friends from San Juan Salsa Company. Also the Fisher House.
Fisher House. It'll be nice to actually see them.
Black Raven Haven Brewing will show up for some treats for you to enjoy during the day.
Or the 884 Pub is sponsoring a hole.
So we got some great stuff going on. So hopefully you can join us. It's a Monday. We are taking the day off. Apparently we have maybe convinced the Daily Mix Morning Show to do their show at Jefferson Park in the morning.
Why not, man?
It is a shotgun start at 8 a.m. We should be out of there by around noon or so, but I have a feeling the party will continue.
I think it might.
After the tournament. Okay, it is our random Would You Rather question. I got a couple for you guys.
All right.
Would you rather be able to speak every language fluently, or be able to play every musical instrument perfectly? So you can speak every language fluently, or be able to play every musical instrument perfectly.
I would think language.
Okay.
I like the versatility of the different languages. I'm trying to learn different languages as we go. It's a fun little brain teaser for me.
Yeah.
So the learning process is the fun part. However, being able to communicate with really anybody, I think would be awesome.
But you only travel to English-speaking places.
Well, yeah.
Like Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Hopefully you can translate even what those people are saying.
I bet you Scotland's more difficult than Mexico.
Oh, absolutely.
Because in Scotland, I know you're speaking English. I just don't understand what you're saying. Mexico, I'm like, I know you're speaking Spanish.
But I wouldn't mind going to Europe, and I wouldn't mind going to some Asian countries. I wouldn't mind going to Germany and Spain and France and Italy and all these different places where, yes, they do technically speak English, but it'd be a hell of a lot easier if I can get in the native tongue.
You would be surprised, even in Germany, how quickly you can pick up on just basic terms.
Basic stuff.
Absolutely.
And then from that's the building blocks of language. So the more time you spend anywhere, hell, you go down to Mexico and you by the time you get back, man, you
have an accent.
You're better off with your Spanish than you ever thought you would be. So
the expats I know that went down there said, I did not know Spanish, but they go, man, within a month, because everyone around you speaking Spanish, you didn't even realize that you're speaking Spanish. And because the one guy's like, my wife looked at me and said, how did you learn that? It's like, learn what? Because you just spoke Spanish. He's like, high five to me, man.
Yeah. I'm taking the musical instruments on this one.
Okay.
I believe that if you have the language, all right, yes, you can meet people. Yes, you can maybe meet the language of love, so to speak, wherever your travels may take you. However, to be honest with you, I don't travel that much. So for me, it's just the idea of being able to jam with anybody anytime I could, because you know what? If you get up on stage or you're in a bar or whatever the deal is, if you are good at a musical instrument, you're gonna bring the house down, no matter what it is. Even if you pick up the bagpipes and go up on stage.
If you can rock the bagpipes, yeah.
I had no idea you could play the bagpipes.
I'm taking the musical instruments. One, I just like music. And it would be cool that it doesn't matter what they hand you, you suddenly can do it. And there's nothing wrong with learning languages. That is a strong one. But in my limited travels, I do fine in Mexico. I realize that charades is universal. It does not matter where you are. Charades works out. So, because typically you're just looking for something.
Yeah.
If you can act it out, all they got to do is point, and I figure my stuff out. And the one time I went to Costa Rica years ago, I ended up getting laid by a chick who only spoke Spanish. She didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Spanish.
Good work, man.
And I did not do charades, but it's kind of understood. And we had a fantastic night. And as far as she knew, my name was Steven Tyler.
Okay.
And you can even see her search her brain like, that sounds familiar. Well, yeah, it's the lead singer of Aerosmith. I'm not him, and I didn't say that. Just gave the wrong name. But yeah.
Going down, Mr. Tyler?
Random.
Hello, Valdez. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Valdez, welcome to the program. And the random question.
Thank you.
All right, would you rather be named after an oil spill? No. Let's go. Let's go this one. Would you rather have to poop 20 times a day, 20 times, or only be able to pee in a bathtub? So anytime you had to pee,
you got to find a bathtub.
You got to find a bathtub. So would you rather have to poop 20 times a day or be able to only pee in bathtubs?
I figure that I'd only have to be able to pee in bathtubs. I would not want to be sitting on the pot 20 times a day.
What if you're
think about it? You're on a plane. You know, it's a 6-hour flight. You know, you're going wherever you're going. You're going to Hawaii. All right, got a great trip planned, 5.5 hours. You really got to pee. The problem is most planes, no bathtub.
No.
So there's just nothing you can do.
Until you get checked into that hotel. Look, though, you might poop 5 times on the flight.
It's true.
So it's one or the other. So you're taking the bathtub.
Yeah, I can get over the smell of urine. Everybody else out around me would have to deal with it.
All right. Okay. I'm pooping 20 times a day.
I'm with you.
I probably already pooped 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So I can knock 50 now. You know,
right.
I'm already kind of on that tip. I mean, typically before I come to work, I've already dropped 2. One before I go to the gym, one when I get home and have a cup of coffee.
Right.
Yeah,
One,
I'm taking a poop as well. Just based on the logistics of, I'm at work. I got to take a leak. There's no bathtub, right? And I don't know if
there
I can
is a
convince
shower
corporate.
in the building.
There's a shower. That's not a bathtub.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
So even the gym doesn't help me out. And look, these days I know corporations, they have to deal with any kind of handicap or malady you might have. I just feel like it'd be a tough sell. Like, listen, guys, honest to God, we need to install a bathtub in the men's bathroom because for whatever reason, that's the only place I can urinate. It is impossible for me to go otherwise. Can you please put it in the bathroom? Yeah, I can't explain the medical history behind this, but that's the only way it works.
Raise my ass, would you rather have to poop 20 times a day or only be able to pee in a bathtub? Alex Moss, he's 25, and he's from Prestbury, Cheshire. And he was born with a condition so rare it affects just 1 in 3,000 people in the UK. And it's had a debilitating impact on his life. As a young man born with a condition so severe that he has to use the toilet up to 20 times a day, he shared his experience. He was born with a anorectal malformation, which is a disorder affecting only 1 in 3,000 babies. The birth defect occurs when a baby is born without a normal anal opening. So at just 17 hours old, Alex underwent life-saving surgery to create an artificial opening back
That
there.
boy ain't got no poop chute. That's right.
And the procedure was successful, but a lack of sensation in the area means he is prone to accidents and must always be near a toilet. Now, to help manage his bowel movements, the 25-year-old had another surgery at the age of 12. Now, that procedure involved doctors creating a small opening, usually in the belly, connected to the colon, and through this opening, a special liquid, basically an enema, can be inserted to flush out the bowels and prevent accidents. In other words, he's got a valve.
So he can time release when this happens?
Okay, look, I got to drive 3 hours. I can flush out my intestines.
Okay. So
before I leave. So that helps maintain regularity and better control over his bathroom visits. Now, when he was 17, he underwent the procedure again, but it closed up again, which is why he had to have it again. So he hoped to undergo another procedure, but due to delays, he's been on the waiting list for many years. Now, the young man endures life with this terrible condition, one that has shattered his hopes and dreams for the future. I'm always told the surgery will be next year, and that next year things will be different. But nothing has ever changed. I've lost 10 years of my life, which should have been the best 10 years. I wanted to go to a university, study history. I've got a couple close friends, and sometimes they'll come around for a bit, but I don't go out, and I can't make new friends. He described his debilitating affliction. He said the agony caused by stomach cramps is so excruciating, it's akin to being skinned alive.
Jeez.
Furthermore, an essential need to remain within proximity to a loo and to stave off any embarrassing situations it could have basically means that he can't really leave and go out into public, and he has to use the bathroom up to 20 times every single day.
Now, see, when you just ask the question, you go, ha, ha, ha. Listening to this guy's story is like, oh, my God, man.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
Absolutely horrible. Now, as far as going to the bathroom in the bathtub and peeing in there, according to a new survey, nearly a quarter of Americans pee in the shower on a regular basis.
Do you pee on a regular basis?
I do not.
Yeah, I don't. I don't regular. Like, look, sometimes if you have to go, I'm like, just let her fly. But it's not. That's not my normal choice.
I normally use the
urinal.
bathroom before I get into the shower.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
A survey of 2,000 general population Americans revealed that 12% do so daily, while another 12% maybe sprinkle in there a few times a week. As far as millennials, a quarter of them indicated peeing in the shower is a daily practice, compared to just 13% of Gen Xers and 6% of baby boomers. Is this the same? Okay, I'm wondering by gender.
Okay.
Because, guys, it just seems like if you're standing up, that is a natural position to use the bathroom.
Yeah, let her rip.
And I'm not saying that women cannot do that.
Well, in the shower, you're fine.
Yeah.
Because there's no mess to be made. Like women, I get it. You're going to sit down when you pee for obvious reasons. But in the shower, doesn't matter, right?
So they say by gender, 30% of men do it regularly. 20% of women do it regularly. In total, 45% of Americans pee in the shower throughout the course of an average year.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I say peeing in the shower often reflects our modern obsession with multitasking. I just think you're there, you got to go. What's the difference?
I mean, it's legitimately what it comes down to, right? It's just, I'm in the shower, I have to pee, but like you said, I try to do all of that before I actually go in.
We just lost the 3 callers that were on there. So if you want to call back in the random Would You Rather question, 206-803-ROCK. In the meantime, I'll give you guys one. Okay. Would you rather shave your dad's ass or your mom's bikini line?
Dad's ass.
Dad's ass. 100%.
Dad's ass?
Dad's ass.
Okay, all right. Would you rather poop a softball or pee a marble? Poop a softball.
Yeah, I think I got to go softball.
Based on the fact that I know people who have had kidney stones.
Oh, yeah.
The size of a marble would be excruciating. I know the kidney stones have edges on them.
But they're so much smaller.
But based on what you said, it seems like that your daughter might already have the ability to be able to...
She can poop a softball.
To birth some... So obviously that...
It can be done. I can tell you that. My brother had kidney stones last year, 2 years ago.
What did he say?
It's what everyone says. He says, it is absolutely awful. You can't necessarily predict... Like, basically, you're going to take a leak, and it's you might as well gamble in Vegas. Like, will this be the time I pass a stone? Will this not? And he's like, and when you do, it is absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. What else we got here? Let's see. Would you rather your name be Areola or Labia?
Areola.
Areola?
Areola.
Sounds like a Disney princess.
It does, man. And, you know, Labia, although I'm pretty sure I went to high school with some kid named Labia, some girl. Or I'm sure, labia. Like, I'm pretty sure it's labia. My mom used to work at a college as an admissions counselor, and she would tell me some of the names that she would see. The one that stuck out, she's like, I go to Baltimore City High School. In Baltimore City, look, teachers don't encourage you to be successful. No one encourages you to be successful there. It's a weird thing. But she does a college presentation, and she couldn't believe it. A couple of students were actually interested in doing something after high school. So she's like, great. Mm-hmm. So she sits down with this girl, and she said, I'm kind of reading her preliminary application. And she goes, this girl, she's got it. She is bright, and everything, it makes sense. She had read a little essay. It was perfect, the punctuation, the whole thing. So my mom said, I'm listening to her spiel, and the girl was very kind, very well-mannered. And finally, my mother had to say, how do you pronounce your name, sweetheart? That's the quote from my mother. She goes, oh, it's Shathid.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. And my mom said, well, the problem is, I don't have a problem with the name, but it is spelled S-head. So it'd be like S-head Montgomery. So she's like, I didn't want to say her name because if you said, hey, what's her name? She'd have been like, S-head. So my mom asked her, she's like, it's Shathid. My mother's like, Jesus Christ. Think about that. A girl has to go through life with that. Hello, Kenneth. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola. Kenneth, welcome to the program, The Random Would You Rather question. All right, Kenneth, would you rather know the day that you are going to die, or would you rather know how you're going to die? So either the day or how it's going down.
Oh, I would want to know how it's going down.
Are you sure, man?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I would want to know the day, because then you got to do everything you want to before that day, and I don't know if I would want to know an exact date. But, you know, if a certain series of events is going on, I know, oh, well, here it comes.
But what if you find out, like, look, they can say you're going to die this day in 2030, and you're right, okay, bucket list time, but you're committing to enjoying your life for as long as you can, because when that day shows up, right, it's over. And you don't know how you're going to go, but either way, you've put all your effort into trying to have a good time.
You could also battle cancer the last 3 years.
But I'm still going to go on, you know, then I have cancer in China.
Then you know the day.
If I know the day. Now, if you find out the way you die is the most recent American serial killer had you chained up in the basement for a week, and eventually you died after you cut off your fingers, like, I do not want to know that.
What if you knew you were going to die in an airplane crash? In theory, right? Okay, but that doesn't mean that every time you get on an airplane for the rest
that's the one.
That's the day that it's going to happen. It will eventually happen. That is how. It could be the next airplane you get on. Mm-hmm. Or do you get on an airplane the day you're going to die when you feel perfectly healthy, knowing that you're going to fly back home because you have 1 day left to live, but in fact, the way you die is that airplane's going down from Hawaii.
Well, so I wouldn't do that because I'm taking everyone with me. If you start like...
Well, look, it's just the way. I mean, you could have a heart attack on the way to the airport. You
You
not
could.
You don't know how.
But I would not risk all those people.
You could, be in,
flying.
you could be in a taxi accident on the way from the airport, or
Sure.
get in a wreck with an Uber, or whatever. You don't know how it's going to happen.
I don't want to know.
But you know the day. It's definitely going to happen that day.
Yeah, I would pick day.
Yeah, I feel like the week before.
Wow. Once again, bedroom colors. Here
He's
are
not
the 7
wrong.
words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now back to the program.
That's kind of a tough question.
It is. I think the ultimate FU that the universe could do is, look, we can tell you the exact date that you're going to die. The exact date, right? And you go, okay, I'm going to plan my bucket list, blah, blah, blah. What they didn't tell you was, oh, no, they're taking you off of life support after being there for 10 years.
I'm going
right?
to give you a scenario.
That's the setup.
I'm going to give you a scenario.
All right.
You want to know how you're going to die, right? Maybe.
I don't, but okay.
Okay, let's just...
In this instance, yes.
Hypothetically, okay? So I say you're going to have a massive heart attack while in the middle of having sex with your wife.
Okay.
That's how.
I might die tonight then.
That's
Hey,
what I'm saying.
baby,
Like, I mean...
we're going to test the theory.
But every single time that you guys are intimate, you're going to be thinking to yourself...
This might be it.
Is this the time that I have a heart attack and die?
Initially, though. After a while,
It could be any time.
Right, you get a few under your belt, and all of a sudden you're going to start remembering, like, actually, you know what? I'm still on the younger side of things. I'll be okay. I'm still relatively healthy. I'm all right. So then
But they
it just,
didn't say when.
Right, but it gets into the back of your brain. Like, all I'm saying, initially, yes, it's on your mind while you're getting after it. But give it 10 times, and you've already forgotten about it. Like, this is how I'm going to go, but I'm not there right now.
I don't think you forget about it. I just don't think you forget about it. I hear what you're saying, where you're going to get more, like anything, you get more comfortable accepting your circumstance.
Sure.
But I don't think that you're ever going to forget.
Hey.
This hot night, just
All right, Mike,
I might die tonight.
Mike, you're going to be you're going to die in a car crash.
Okay.
You're going to be you're a passenger.
I'm a passenger. Okay.
You're going to die in a car crash.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you want to get in the car with somebody else?
Are you calling an Uber?
I mean, at some point I have to.
But you're a passenger.
Right.
You're still a passenger in a
Right.
car. So are you going to drive everywhere for the rest of the...
It's going to be on my mind every time.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. It's never going away. After 10 times, taking Ubers,
At some point, you can't run from your fate, though, Miles.
Exactly.
It's going to happen. So it's.
But if you keep running, you die of old age, see?
I like to believe that if I'm sitting here knowing that is how I'm going to die.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm just going to accept it, and I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my life. You're right. Every time I get into the passenger seat, like, is this the one?
Right.
That's about it.
Okay. The reason we asked, would you rather know the day you're going to die or how you're going to die? A 900-year-old book that claims to predict the day of judgment has attracted attention for the author's somewhat psychic ability to reference and predict future popes, which he has successfully, believe it or not. The 900-year-old book, discovered in the archives of the Vatican, seems to predict the year of the Judgment Day and when it will happen. The book in question is titled The Prophecy of the Popes and was written by Saint Malachy.
I know, I thought it was malarkey.
In the 12th century. The text contains a series of Latin phrases that are believed to describe every pope, ranging from Celestine II in 1143, concluding with the current leader of the church, Pope Francis.
Yeah.
It also said to predict the day of judgment, when Christians believe Jesus will return to earth. That day is going to be...
Remember me!
In 2027. The last passage of the text reads, in the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the seven-hilled city will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people. The end.
The end.
The end.
Ta-da.
That's all, folks. Wouldn't that suck if that's the last thing you heard?
Porky Pig.
That's all, folks. Still to come, the return of Who Sucks Less on the way at 4:30, and your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/Confluence. That's Atlassian.com/CONFLUENCE.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
When you're on the go and it's time to refresh your energy, grab an ice-cold Celsius, where 0 sugar, 7 essential vitamins, and proven ingredients meets pure refreshment. Unlike traditional energy drinks, each sip of Celsius is a perfect balance of flavor and function. So, whether you're hitting the gym, the office, or your next adventure, grab a Celsius at your local retailer or visit Celsius.com to learn more.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry, so let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here, and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
So I actually tried Gemini a couple days ago, the Gemini Live where you can talk to it, and it is really crazy to have a full-on conversation with this thing. I was just messing around, so I asked it to give me ideas for hosting during the holidays. And when it starts giving you results, you can just stop it and say, okay, but what about something low-key for a smaller group? And then it adjusts to that, and you can just keep going until you get an idea you want. I think that's what I would use it for the most, brainstorming stuff. It's so good if you don't know where to start or if you hit a wall, you just go to Gemini. It helps you get the ball rolling. But obviously you can use it for all kinds of stuff. If you want to learn something new, you can have it give you advice, ask it to explain Bitcoin in simple terms, or you can have it quiz you on microbiology. I mean, imagine being a student and you've got this personal tutor on hand. It's hard to explain. You really just have to play around with it, see how it listens to you, responds, adapts to your style of conversation. Just try it out. It's free.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hawaii is beautiful, but Tahiti is unforgettable. Take off to paradise from the United States, starting at $750 per person with Air Tahiti Nui. This limited time deal includes round-trip all-inclusive service to Tahiti. Visit airtahitinui.com. That's airtahitinui.com.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah!
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
like I have the power!
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, hey, can you put the game on? At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
Turn up Who Sucks Less on the way at 4:30, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Jumping to the birthdays, guys, I would like to wish my sister-in-law, Danae, a very happy 27th birthday. Mike, can we get a fart montage and Miles doing some dad jokes? Lots of love. That from Mark, Ginny, and Mason. All right, Danae, here's some dad jokes. This morning, a guy at the gym asked me how I got my trap muscles so huge and big.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just shrugged my shoulders. What do you call a woman standing in the middle of a tennis court? What do you call a woman standing in the middle of a tennis court?
A net.
A net. Woman's in the ER, waiting for some news about her husband. Doctor comes in the room and says, I don't like the looks of him. She says, agree, but he's got a huge penis. If Dave has 45 chocolate bars and eats 40, what is he left with?
Diabetes.
Diabetes. All right, Jay, I got two more for you. Guys, autocorrect has become my worst enema. And there was a plane crash. Thankfully, every single person survived.
Oh, yeah?
But all the married people died. Ola Joel's great day because we get to mark another year of our good friend Nikki living amongst us. She's a transplant to Seattle from Lynchburg, Virginia. She needs to hear Miles and Thrill talk all over themselves in their Virginia accents to remind her of what she's missing out on back in Virginia, which I assume is not much. It also says, Ted, I hope you're back on air as well. Ironically enough, Ted is back east with the family, so he's not here. But please give her some good advice on her 43rd year on this planet. Love you guys. I do declare that from Josh in West Seattle. Well, one thing I can tell you about Virginia is
everybody here is going to have a abandoned license plate.
And you leave it a
That's what they introduce themselves by speaking the name. Can't look at the license plate and know.
And you wear a golf shirt. Gentlemen, today I'm celebrating my 50th plus one. Last year I was in the hospital for my original 50th, so this year I'm attempting a redo, especially since I'm still here and thankfully not in the hospital. So can I get a barbershop fish sandwich and the captain talking about the best whiskey to enjoy with smoked brisket while celebrating 5 decades of rock and roll shenanigans? I'll let you guys decide. Cheers, guys. That from our buddy, the mistress of booze.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Ooh, well, ahoy there, mistress of boozy time. It's funny you bring up what's the best whiskey to enjoy with brisket. Well, oddly enough, me and the mascot's been working on a couple of products to help settle that situation. The first one we have is an edible whiskey, and we call it Brisky. You see, we took brisket and whiskey together, but the one that we're sure is going to light the world on fire is our drinkable meat. Because who hasn't ever thought to themselves, man, I wish I could drink my meat? Well, we here at General Mills, or whoever I work for, we came up with our drinkable meat, which tastes like whiskey and smoked brisket, and we called it Whisket. We'll be sure to get you a bottle as soon as we can. Crunch berries.
Oh, this one from Wes. He says, it's my birthday today. Can I get a herky for Miles and some shotgun gets from Thrill? Thanks, guys. 43 years old today. Tick!
Get.
Hooky, hooky, the house is on fire. Hooky, hooky.
Get.
And bitches, yes, it's March and it's Robin's double nickel. Lap around the sun. She's killing it at the Bothell Florist. And we here appreciate all you do to keep us going. You're my best friend and you keep me going as well. We love you. How about a fish sandwich quartet, a suck it up cupcake, and the dirty German talking about fertilizing flowers. Keep it rocking, guys. That from Jack.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich, maybe some dill relish in the morning, at noon, and at night, and at night.
So suck it up, cupcake!
Yeah, you work as a florist, so obviously you know someone like me is a dirty German. I have what they call the pink thumb. But as far as fertilizing things... As far as fertilizer goes, I have a special liquid protein heavy fertilizer for your lady orchid.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ja, the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefly.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks last?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Tina Thrill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck. It is up to us to determine, though, out of these 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you like KISW on Facebook, X, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And like I said, 2 of these stories, you'll say, yeah, not really mad, but why did you bother? The third one, depending who you are, might bug you. In other words, if you're like me, if you're computer illiterate, this will bother you. But let us start in Ohio. We go to Walmart, where a Walmart store in Ohio, they're pressing charges against a former employee. And you got to wonder, what can you do at Walmart, right? Probably the most lenient retail place you could possibly be at. Well, in this case, the employee was peeing on a pallet outside of the store filled with bags of potting mix.
That'll do it.
Well, the surveillance footage of the suspect consuming alcohol on the premises, that's probably more to the thing, and then, well, spraying the potting mix. Now, according to Walmart, this person ruined 72 bags of potting mix valued at over $400. They've all since been tossed. Question is, yeah, it's disgusting, but a lot of that dirt will eventually be peed on by something or someone. It's unclear if the suspect was just hammered or if they intentionally did it to get back at the store. It might be the latter, because it sounds like they had been recently fired and weren't working at the time. Now, the name of the person was not released, but it seems safe to assume that it was a male employee. Yeah. Although, ladies, I'll tell you, you pull that move in public, be like, wow, that is a lot of hate.
You're a keeper.
Yeah, so I peed on the potting mix that they store outside on the pallets.
Oh, not the worst.
Not the worst thing in the world. And they caught them. They got rid of the potting mix.
I mean, it's covered in plastic. There's a couple holes in it.
Right. I mean, that's my thing. Could you just open the bag, dump them into something else? You know, loose soil? Who knows?
Hose down the bag.
All right, now we go to Polk County, Florida, where police are looking for a man and a woman who stole around $500 worth of cleaning supplies from a Family Dollar store last month. And it's the employees who really needed those cleaning supplies. Because while the guy was collecting the cleaning supplies in a cart and wheeling them out, the woman distracted staff, you see, by relieving herself right there on the floor. Yeah, we're back to this again. Now, there are not many details, thankfully, but police are referring to them as Mr. Clean and Ms. Dookie. So it's very possible.
Oh, she went number 2.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying it's very possible she went number 2. Now, there is footage of them on the store surveillance cameras, but as far as you know, the police are still trying to track this down. So, again, your goal is to steal $500, $500 worth of cleaning supplies. And your distraction, some people fake heart attacks. We saw that, last week at a pet store or something like that. She's like,
that's
look,
how they stole the 2 puppies.
She's like, look, I got your back. Do you think she ran it by him first, or she just said, listen,
I'll create a distraction.
I promise you, I've got a distraction of mine. Yeah, so she pooped right there on the floor. And now for the less tech-savvy among us, computer illiterate folks like myself, they say, look, there are 2 kinds of people in the world, all right? Those who will do anything they can to troubleshoot on their own problem to avoid having to deal with customer support, and those who just immediately call customer support. Now, look, I will try to troubleshoot, but you have to understand, I might as well be reading Mandarin. I don't get it, all right? So, bad news if you're like me. You may be waiting for an artificially long time because a company wants you to solve your own problems. Like calling customer service doesn't take long enough. They're intentionally doing this. Hewlett-Packard, they just added a minimum 15-minute wait time for everyone dialing into the call center. And it just started on February 20th. And right now it's only in Europe, but oh, hey, U.S., it's coming your way. And they're admitting that they do it on purpose. They say it's to encourage people to use their online resources to solve their own problems. And on the surface, that's not a bad idea.
But they don't always help. Look, man, sometimes you got a question, and it's not in the commonly asked questions. Or it's just, you could even Google to find out if there's something,
That's why I hate this, because usually if I'm calling tech support, I actually need it. Right?
So keep in mind, say that you are computer savvy, but it's just a problem above your pay grade. You, too, get to wait 15 minutes. But they say they're targeting the people that are clogging their phone lines with issues that can be easily handled online by using virtual chatbots, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times it's common sense. But the collateral damage, it will hit people with more complicated problems who have already exhausted all the online options. There's no word yet when it'll make its way to the U.S., but you got to think that it's coming.
Okay.
So again, these are not the worst stories that are out there. They're all just kind of annoying. So we had the ex-Walmart employee in Ohio who retaliated by getting drunk and peeing on 72 bags of potting mix. Keep in mind, total value $400. We have the couple in Florida, total value $500, stealing cleaning supplies, which the irony of that is the staff there really could have used the cleaning supplies because the woman involved in this particular caper caused a distraction by defecating on the floor.
Yeah.
And then finally, Hewlett-Packard, you have a minimum 15-minute wait because they're like, don't bother.
I'll tell you something right now. I've stopped buying certain products that I was very loyal to just based on the fact that the customer service was so bad.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Either on trying to return something or trying to get a hold of somebody or having problems, let's say, while traveling with certain carriers that I used to fly all the time. If there are times where I can't get a hold of anybody and I can't get a resolution to the problem, even if I'm at the airport, I'm done with you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I will fly a different airline. I will do all that. In the case of Hewlett-Packard, obviously, if you're at work, you don't have control over what you're working on. Hopefully, you've got an IT person. I'm not shocked. 15-minute. Every time you call any kind of customer service, you're going to jump through hoops.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to press these buttons. You're going to do this. First of all, you're not talking to a person. Eventually, you're just going to go operator. So in that instance, I don't think that sucks a lot. That seems to me to be par for the course. That seems to be about what you're going to go through anytime you've got a problem.
I'm kind of with you there.
All right?
But the difference is, and maybe I'm wrong, or maybe Hewlett-Packard's just the first to admit it. And you're right. If you call customer service, you know you're in for the long haul. Your phone goes on speaker, you do other things.
Right.
This is understood. But they're telling you, like, look, even if there's no one before you, if there's no one else on the line, if we got nothing to do, we're still not answering phone, which leads me to believe, why do you have customer service representatives? Mm-hmm. You can fire those people and save money because you're basically telling us, we're not here to help you.
Now, I believe that the woman in Florida and her partner there, I think they sucked the most.
I agree.
Because they took $500 worth of goods and they left fecal matter on the floor of the Family Dollar store. So not only did the employees have to clean that up, but they lost inventory. So they lost money and then they lost time.
It's specifically the cleaning supplies that they could have used to clean up the poop.
In my mind, that is and what you could probably find them, they're probably house cleaners. But they suck the most. So it's between the Walmart employee who peed on the 7 bags of potting mix. They were also outside the building.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Typically, if you live out here, it's going to get rained on, probably get washed off anyway. That I think, in my mind, that the Walmart employee who got fired for being drunk and peeing on the bags of potting mix sucks the least.
Okay. I'll agree with you that the duo sucks the most. There's better ways to create distractions than dropping trowel right there in the middle of the store. There is. You're making that nasty of a mess, man.
You are. I'm not defending her actions. What I'm saying is we've already committed to committing a criminal act.
Sure.
And you need, because you're the wheelman, so you need a distraction from it.
Right.
What's a better one than that?
There was a dude that faked a heart attack and puppies were stolen.
But he ended up getting arrested because he's laying there on the floor.
They still didn't find the dogs.
So that, to me, is not good.
You can crash out in the back of the store just knocking things down and then just walk your way out.
I just remembered something. That guy really had a heart attack.
Oh, did he really?
They called 911. He had a medical emergency.
Oh, God.
So when you think it was a ploy, yes, it worked in this instance.
Sure.
But also he had a heart attack.
legitimately had a heart attack, had to go to the hospital, and then got arrested.
Well, she legitimately had to poop. I mean, you can't just make that happen, man. I hear what you say, Mike. I'm just saying, if I'm going to do a criminal act, and you say, here's my plan for distraction, I'm like, to me, this is kind of fail-safe.
It is, because the shock value will get people to not mess with you, so you could walk out. Like, I'll give you that. However, it's disgusting. People have to clean that up. Miles, I'll disagree with you that I believe that's Hewlett-Packard that sucks the least, because there was damaged product that was involved. Yes, it was outside, and it'll get rained on. It'll be fine.
Walmart,
but there's I can't get around the mentality that the potting soil that I'm grabbing onto was peed on by a disgruntled employee. Whereas with Hewlett-Packard, like I said,
peed in your water bottle earlier.
Yeah, and if you really want to get good potting soil, you use crap.
Right.
Exactly. You're using manure.
Just turd, right?
So the idea of that doesn't in that world is like, all right, well, I mean, I used to get elephant crap from the zoo.
Right.
And my tomatoes were booming those years. Every once in a while, I'll still dig up like a big ball of that stuff that's in my beds. You can still smell the elephant crap. And it's still great fertilizer.
My problem with HP is, what if the issue is the computer itself? So you say, well, look it up online. Like, I can't.
Sure. Because you have a handful of computers in your possession. We all have a computer in our pocket. All of your kids have a computer in their pocket. So it's annoying. However, 15 minutes to wait to then finally, hopefully, get people that should just be using common sense, that, maybe plug your machine in. Maybe we can weed those guys out. It's annoying, especially for a guy like me, but I understand it. I think they suck the least.
Okay. Debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you follow KISW on Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Coming up at 5:08, we will drink a toast with a shot of the day. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Look around. Every car you see is probably on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars. As for flying cars, well, we're ready when they are. If you see a car you like, find it on AutoTrader. That's our kind of thing. AutoTrader.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up at 5:08, we'll drink a toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. A new study found that there's about a spoonful of microplastics in all of our brains.
Okay.
A spoonful.
A spoonful.
That's a lot.
It's saying teaspoon, tablespoon?
I believe a teaspoon, yeah.
Okay.
And that's the whole that's the big buzzword that I've heard over the last few years is microplastics.
Yeah.
You know, Miles, you're drinking that Mountain Dew right now. There's microplastics in that bottle that you are now putting into your body that'll make their way into your bloodstream and go all over the place. And
it can't be as bad as the Mountain Dew.
That's right.
I'll take the plastics.
That's my whole thing. Is like, okay, so the Mountain Dew is melting down the plastic to the point that it's inside the Mountain Dew, and now I have microplastics in there. Why isn't the microplastic still just melted by the Mountain Dew all the way through? Why is it sticking
Put it
to
in
stuff?
glass.
Exactly, and
it can be recycled.
And that's the big challenge. There is that don't get plastic bottles, get glass bottles. Try to, when you have your Tupperware and stuff like that, go for the glass stuff instead of the plastic stuff.
Sure. I mean, but they put what percent of products in plastic do you think, right? I mean,
absolutely.
They keep bringing it up. They keep talking about it. We recognize that it's not good, but if no one's going to do anything, why bring it up?
I get you.
Yeah. Hey, man, my house is on fire. You're going to call 911? Nope.
I can understand, though. Presenting the issue gets somebody motivated to get rid of it, I suppose.
Sure.
And the microplastics that are in their brain, while problematic because there's something foreign in our brain, most of us are walking around okay. Now, it will have some other implications later on for, like, dementia and stuff like that. Like, that comes into play. But for right now, like, we're okay. Let's get this fixed, but we're not putting pedal to the metal just yet. There's a research center in Scotland looking to hire a Loch Ness Monster hunter.
They basically got a tour boat guy who's doing that right now.
Yeah. I'd take the job.
I don't know what the difference is.
Bad stuff and found him.
They claim that they had another incident last week where they have video of something. Every time I look at it, I'm like, I just see a ripple. Okay, whatever.
Exactly.
Loch Ness Monster. It's a wave, dude.
Right. And it's...
But sweet gig. Because you don't really have to have results. You just have to let them know you're out there looking. Or some people call that, particularly here in the Pacific Northwest, we call that boating.
Right.
So you're going to pay me to hang out on my boat? Cool.
And again, we live in a day and age where everybody has a camera, and most people are filming at all times of the day.
Yeah.
Nessie would have been found by now.
We also have sonar.
Yes.
Military.
Exactly.
Sonar.
Come on. Look, I love the Loch Ness Monster. I love the legend. I love the lore. I'm a fan of all of that. You guys taking it this far takes me out of that, okay?
But I think their whole thing is that it's just more a tourism draw.
I guess.
I mean, they know.
I mean, I would go on a Loch Ness tour. We're looking for it. I would do that.
Yeah, of course you would. Right? So now if we have it organized, right, and it's got a country sponsored, it's like, look, why don't we make some dough off of this instead of independent guys on boats? So they'll charge you $20 to take you out to Loch Ness, right?
But make it like the Jaws portion of that Universal Studios, right? Where it's like, oh my God, there he is. And then there's Loch Ness Monster. That'd be cool. Do that. Older folks with insomnia are encouraged to hit the gym to treat it, but they suggest weightlifting over general cardio.
Any reason for that?
I think...
Guess your body tires out more if you're...
Something like that, yeah. Your body expels more energy. There's more to repair when you're lifting weights.
Blood
flow. There's a handful of things that go with it. They certainly don't discourage the general cardio, getting your steps in every day and all that. However, throw in some weightlifting from time to time. A photographer in Ontario snapped a fitting photo of two birds having it out. Have you guys seen this photo?
Oh yeah,
the
Canadian goose and the bald eagle.
That's right, the bald eagle and the Canadian goose.
Well, it seems to me like the goose won.
I heard the goose held its own.
For 20 minutes. I mean, but still, man, however many rounds you play.
One's a bird of prey, the other's migratory. So that's all I'm going to put there.
It just shows you that goose,
geese are bad.
Geese suck, dude. I hate geese. Jackasses.
I don't hate them. I
hate them.
I wouldn't mess with them.
Saunter out in the middle of the doggone road. Oh, don't hit the geese. We can't damage them. Well, then get the hell out of the road.
Well, don't they gas them down to Gasworks Parks?
Do they really?
It depends on where they are.
Don't do anything to the goose. They show up in their truck, and they're all gone.
I know about 15, 20 years ago, they had one that would go around. I saw it at Seward one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there it is.
There he is.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's not a food truck.
When I was living out in Issaquah, there's like a main drag that's a 4-lane road up there. And from time to time, there'd be all this backup and just a little family of geese just walking out there. Like, screw those guys, dude. Get toward them and then find honk. Survival of the fittest. If they're migratory birds, the dumb ones shouldn't migrate. Let them die.
It's like the beaver that fells a tree the wrong direction.
Correct. Damn it. A new study says that men with strong sperm tend to live longer.
How do you know if you have strong sperm?
It's just doing
bench press.
Exactly. I'm going to get there first, man.
Going to the testicle gym.
He is strong.
They got washboard abs.
Yeah.
Amazing swimmer.
I might have incredibly strong sperm. I don't know. I might have some bitch-ass sperm. I don't know.
Right. The Merriam-Webster word of the day.
Oh, boy.
Askew.
Askew. It's a bit askew.
It is a little off. It's askew.
I mean, that comes up once a year, maybe.
Man, I don't think I ever use askew.
I'm not saying I use it. I'm saying I hear it.
Okay.
Like once
fair.
a year. And I know what it means. I get it. But it's just, they actually said askew.
Exactly. Like
it's like saying a jar. You mean open? So
right.
I askewed last night.
He was skewed. Kentucky. There's a biotech company that's engineered fuzzy mice to resemble the woolly mammoth.
Why? Just because I can? Is this a just because we can kind of thing?
Well, it's one of those where it's like, we want to revive the woolly mammoth, but since we can't, we're going to get other animals to look like it.
Make a woolly mouse.
Right. And I mean, they're kind of cute looking. They look like
I'm
tiny...
sure they are.
They look like tiny tribbles. But at the same time, it's like, that's mean to the mouse, man.
What do you get on your... It's a science fair project. You tell your teacher I'm going to resurrect a woolly mammoth. You show up with a woolly mouse. Like, D, man.
Exactly.
Like, sorry, guy. Like, that's cool. Glad you can do it, but no. D.
What I want to do is I want to tie two of them together and hang them from my mirror. Those are my fuzzy mice.
They're moving. I said they're fuzzy mice, dude. They're real.
Fuzzy mice, dude.
Totally real.
Come on now. Mistakes, they're incredibly common and almost unavoidable, and it seems that the only way to avoid mistakes is to make them and then learn from them in the first place. So luckily, we've got people that have done that. Oh, crap.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 common mistakes we make from painting prep to puppy training. Everyone says they want to do it right the first time. You remember your first time? No way you did that right. You probably barely got your horse out of the starting block and the race was over. Sure, you'd think after reviewing all those online tutorials, that would help you train that stallion. Turns out your little pony isn't ready for the Belmont. And after years of tripping when you start the race, you and Mr. Ed have developed a dysfunction.
Yay. Damn it. So these are 10 mistakes, the common mistakes, according to experts that we make. This one comes to us via a dog trainer. Playing too much with your puppy. The important thing many owners fail to do with their dog is encourage it to calm down. There's so much emphasis on playing and running, and people think that they have to play with their puppy because it wants to, but this actually encourages the dog to be constantly active. It then doesn't settle well, and its behavior can quickly become problematic. Spending time teaching dogs to walk calmly on a lead and rest at home should be a priority.
I don't know if I would, if I got a dog, I'm not sure that I would get a puppy.
Yeah,
I think I would get a senior dog or an older dog, or
we know what you do, man.
Fits, yeah. I know, but I just
he's got one leg.
Shot an eyeball.
I mean,
burned in the fire.
Doesn't have teeth.
VD, he did a great job with the puppy.
He did.
You know, Taryn's got the sibling.
Yeah.
Apparently, that dog. I mean, maybe it might be a little nuts, but I don't know. That's a lot to take on, I think.
Yeah,
I just rather have one that just kind of comes and kind of knows some of the game. You know,
has a little baseline knowledge. Your dentist. The advice is you're snacking too often. Each time that you eat, your mouth becomes acidic. If you snack 5 or 6 times a day, your mouth is going to be constantly acidic, which means you're more prone to getting cavities. Try to eat only 4 times a day, 3 meals and a snack, to allow your mouth to return to a more alkaline state in between.
Okay, all right. Solid.
Makes sense, though. You know, because we always hear, don't eat so many sweets or don't eat so much candy because that's giving you cavities.
All sugar stuff, right?
Right, but honestly, it's not the candy that's giving you the cavities. It's the fact that you just keep popping candy in your mouth, and so your mouth just starts getting acidic again.
My son's going to have a bad future.
Oh, no.
He's never not eating.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's also very active, man.
He needs to eat.
Right, he's athletic, so he's burning faster than he's putting in, if you can believe it.
Even in the house, you can't talk to him without him dribbling a ball. Seriously, man, it never, ever, ever, ever. One of the most annoying sounds in my house, but I'll let it go. He'll sit down to the computer. I'm kind of used to him bouncing, but I take his basketball or volleyball. Now it's on his feet.
Oh, yeah.
He's sitting at the desk, and just keeps kicking it against the wall. It's rhythmic.
Yep. It's almost like a speed bag.
And he doesn't even realize it.
No.
But like you're talking to him, he's bouncing the ball or taking fake shots. He can't walk anywhere in the house. It is a full sprint. Jumps over the sofa. I mean, the whole 9, dude. I'm just like, whatever.
Energy.
From your IT support person, they say the mistake that you're making is buying a cheap inkjet printer. So many people buy these $25 color printers, but end up spending so much more on ink every 2 months because they use small, expensive cartridges that run out or dry out quickly.
Email the document to yourself. When you get to work, Use the printer at work.
That would be unethical, Miles, and we surely wouldn't recommend that people do that.
I do.
I'm telling everybody to do it.
I try not to use my printer at home because it doesn't matter what kind of printer I've bought. We've had 1,000 of them, right? Spend a lot, spend a little. The ink game is the joke. That's where they get you.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, man, I'm tired.
I don't need anything in my life at home to be printed. Everything that I need to be printed is a work item.
Correct.
You know,
Okay,
95% of it, yeah.
There you go. The cleaning influencer. Again, these are common mistakes that we make and what to do from experts. The cleaning influencer says you're wiping away antibacterial sprays too quickly. Lots of people will use an antibacterial spray cleaner to disinfect surfaces, but not many leave it to work for a vital few minutes before wiping it down. If you read the instructions, it usually tells you to spray and then leave it. This is so the enzymes in the cleaner have time to effectively kill the bacteria. Give your surfaces a spritz and then do another job while you're waiting. It's become a regular thing for me when I'm like cleaning the bathroom. It's not antibacterial, but if I use like a bleach on the shower or the tub or the toilet bowl or something like that, that is the first thing that I do. Maybe I'll wet down the shower so it spreads a little bit better, but spray it down with the bleach and then go to wiping off the counters and then wiping off the mirror and then sweeping it up and then wiping this stuff and then go scrub. Give that thing time to really eat at all that stuff that you got in there, and the difference is staggering.
The U-grime.
The U-grime, 100%.
Yeah.
Man, you ever given it just a little bit too long and you scrub that shower and then you run that water and you see that brown just start trickling down into the drain?
Yeah, and you're like, my God, that's me.
Yeah. Nasty. Your dry cleaner wants you to quit ignoring label instructions. Be wary of people recommending cleaning shortcuts and don't Google quick fixes. We see people who have bought something that says dry clean only, but they've had a go at hand or machine washing it, and it's shrunk. It's got a weird shape. It's lost its color or print. They said that they'll do their best to fix it, but if it's a sizing issue, they can usually bring it back to about the right size, but color loss is much more difficult to reverse.
One of my goals in life is to avoid buying clothes that says dry clean only.
I know.
But you end up getting burned on something like a winter coat.
Yes.
Right? Because they go through the winter and you spill crap on it. Like, I'm going to watch this. Then you read the label. You're like, sons of bitches, they got me.
Yep, they get me twice a year. Every time that the auction season's done. Tuxedo and suits. They go right to the dry cleaner.
Yep.
Got it. Because I'm sweating like crazy when I do this.
Of course.
That's why I always shop the clearance rack when I get my tuxedos.
Yeah, you know what, man? It's not a bad call.
I will not have anywhere near the fanciest tuxedo in that room because I abuse that damn thing. Your plumber says quit fitting taps the wrong way around. With either a mixer or two-tap setup, hot must be on the left and cold is on the right. This is so everybody, even the people who are visually impaired, knows that if they turn the lever to the left or turn the tap to the left, the water's going to be hot.
Have you ever had the experience where it's reversed?
Yes.
I did once at a buddy's house, and they're 100% correct. Just the idea that you don't bother to look for H and C or red and blue. Like, you just make the assumption, if I flip the left one, it's going to be hot. And I'm
exactly.
Like, what in the hell? And the worst part was it was the same in their shower.
That's the
so you're
one.
trying
That's
to adjust it.
The singular knob where I turn it to the hot and it's cold, and now I'm like, oh no.
Oh, it sucks, man.
Can we also quit getting fancy with the doggone shower taps?
What do you mean?
I went to, I flew across the country this last weekend, and I was in a hotel room, and one of the most confusing doggone shower things.
Was it a lever one?
No, it wasn't. It was a weird lever one. So you had one little unit that was sticking out from the middle. This is clearly where you start the water.
All right.
But it almost looks like a doggone Rubik's Cube. It's got two sections that you can turn either direction, and so I start turning the first one, and it doesn't do a damn thing. It's not moving it at all. It's not doing anything. So I'm like, okay, so that's clearly the temperature, whatever. So then I have to move the middle one. I move it the wrong direction. And what that does is the little spray head that they give you, that shot me right in the doggone eye.
Yep.
Why don't they leave instructions? Because hotels are the one place where, all right, guys, I'm going to take a shower. And then I'm standing in the bathroom naked like, I don't know how to start this.
Right.
I just want to get clean.
The last place that I rented, it took me forever to figure out how to just turn the shower on. I would turn the water on, and, you look for the little plunger that you pull up on the spigot, right? I can't find that doggone thing anywhere. I can't find it anywhere. I'm hitting buttons on the mechanism, whatnot. I'm smart enough to know, okay, I need to shut off water down here. What in the hell am I doing? So I'm feeling around the spigot, and then I finally feel it. Where the actual water is coming out, there's a ring around it that I had to pull down, and that stopped it.
Why would anyone think that that's where they're going to find
Nobody would.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Come on, man.
And then this is the last common mistake that we make, and the experts' advice on how to counter it. Your dermatologist says you're letting your wounds dry out. Wounds, whether they're surgical wounds or injuries, heal faster in a moist environment. This can reduce the formation of scabs, which helps improve the cosmetic outcome of the scar. To keep things moist, wash the wound. Do not rub or scrub. Let soapy water run over it, then pat it dry, add a thin layer of Vaseline, and put a dressing over the top. Change the plaster or bandage every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
If you've ever been through a surgery and you've been panicking about all the scars that it's going to leave, everybody recommends moisturizers, cocoa
They're very
butters.
clear about that, too.
And the tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. You need to let those things heal. Keep them moist. Do not let them dry out. A man is suing his brother-in-law for something that he did to his belly button, Miles.
What did he do to his brother-in-law's belly button?
I'll tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to Drinking Town?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink test and Steve a Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast D'Angelo Covington of St. Louis, Missouri. Now, back in June of last year, D'Angelo was seen by a train engineer on the Metrolink, which I'm sure is just like our light rail. Anyway, the thing is, he was seen with his genitals out having sex with a seat. And if you're wondering, that'll get you 173 days in jail. At least that's what D'Angelo's sentence was. Well, here we are, 3 months after his release, and our man D'Angelo, he was arrested again, but this time he was busted for exposing himself while having sex with the upper bar of one of the train seats. Now, he may have gotten away with it, but there's two problems. One, he's on surveillance camera, but more than that, he was doing it for a full 10 minutes.
Jesus.
My man was trying to get to where he was going, so to speak. Anyway, he received a lifetime ban from the St. Louis Metro. What? Yeah, that'll have 10 minutes. Even worse, there was a woman stuck in the train car with him. Yeah, and he wasn't like looking at her. He's just doing his thing. He's probably like, "Why do you keep watching me? You're making it weird."
Right, I saw that, the police got the call that he's exposing himself. It's like he has no concern for anybody else that are around there, man.
He wants to have sex with the seat. Correct. This is not about you watching him do it. He is all about that seat. Apparently, in other news, the St. Louis Metrolink, sexiest seats you've ever seen. Sexy seats. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
It's going to get tested on the line for Profile This now at 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/Confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Wow. What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Man, that was easy.
Bulldog Rotary Hammer!
Hello?
It is I, He-Man, your inner Bosch.
Inner...
Bosch!
I'm sorry, what?
That powerful feeling you get when you can powerfully blast through concrete. Say it with me.
What, like right now?
Yes! We have the power!
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a...
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider, satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Download today.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throho, could you please serve everyone out? Profile This is played.
Sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Devin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores. All right, Devin, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three stories. Today, we offer you interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. Hit me with your best shot, where you guess the unconventional object someone chose to use as a weapon. And finally today, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
Got to go with Animalize This.
The California Highway Patrol, they entered into an extremely slow speed pursuit when an animal was found trying to cross the upper deck of the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. An officer responded to a call about an animal on the bridge and was able to locate the animal near Treasure Island. Yeah, I like this animal. The California Highway Patrol San Francisco said on social media, quote, as CHP San Francisco Motor Officer Pack located the critter, an extremely slow speed pursuit was initiated as the animal failed to yield to Officer Pack's directions. The animal continued westbound in its attempt to evade, even attempting to turn around and escape going the wrong way against traffic. We call that California Highway Patrol humor right there. Now, the chase was soon joined by a witness and the owner of a nonprofit rescue shelter known as Jelly's Place. While a follow-up post revealed that the critter had been taken to the Wild Care Center in San Rafael, where personnel discovered that it was a female and that it had babies. But apparently, everything was unscathed by the accident.
Okay.
It is fine. The question is...
So the animal is pregnant.
Yeah. The question is, what kind of animal was trying to cross the bridge? That's what we're going to Treasure Island, Miles. Come on, Treasure. Was it a fox? Was it a coyote? Was it a possum? Or was it a groundhog? Fox, coyote, possum, or groundhog?
Miles, what you thinking?
Slow
Yeah,
speed. I'm going, Devin.
slow.
I'm going groundhog on the speed tip.
Groundhog. I think I'm going to take the possum. The old George Jones.
What is it? Possum week?
What do you mean?
Well, possum was the other day on Analyze This.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I didn't pick possum.
I
All right.
agree with Devin on possum just because if you've seen them try to run across the street, they don't exactly sprint. They kind of vibrate across the street.
What animal tried to cross that bridge? Was it a fox, a coyote, a possum, or a groundhog? We'll find out next.
That was a
You're listening to The Men's Room.
Look around. What do you see? Cars, lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends, did somebody say solar-powered, eco-friendly, vegan leather-wrapped, aromatherapy-scented, disco ball-equipped self-driving car? If you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. Big cars, small cars, blue cars, new cars and used cars, electric cars, and one day, maybe even flying cars. With millions of options to choose from, buying a car becomes a whole lot easier. See it, find it. AutoTrader.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category is Analyze This on Profile. This California officers found an animal on a highway trying to cross a bridge. A slow speed chase ensued. They did catch the animal and took the animal to a rescue center, whatever. Turns out the animal was pregnant. But I guess the kiddos are okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what was the animal? Was it a fox, a coyote, a possum, or a groundhog?
And Devin, that is a question we posed to you. Let us start with Miles Montgomery. You went with the groundhog, known on the East Coast as a G-hog. It was not the G-hog.
Is it really possum week?
Come on. Tell me it's possum week,
Now,
Steve.
Devin, and look, you do this for a living. We know who you are. And Mike agreed with you. I think Mike just agreed with you because he goes, Devin does this kind of crap for a living.
That's
man.
right.
He
He knows what
knows
he's doing.
his animals.
Big win.
You suck, man. You suck.
It is look, man, if Shark's going to have Shark Week, certainly.
Yeah.
The minute we had Weed Week,
What was
certainly
it?
we could do Possum Week.
The possum story.
What was the possum
It was a
story?
couple days ago. It was like someone took in a pet or something like that, or I can't remember what the deal was.
I don't remember the possum story.
Yeah, it was a possum.
Can we do Possum Week? Right, because we used
I
to
think
have.
we just did.
Right?
Why not
Well,
do Possum Week?
And then this was the year of the beaver as well.
Beavers started this year strong, man.
They did,
They were
man.
all over the news.
Now, for all TV news all the time for TV Time of 10.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Oh, look, it's Mike Hawk.
Oh, hello, everybody. One more time for me here on TV Time. As far as watching TV goes, there's a handful of genres that I love the most. Probably one of the first is game shows, and then I immediately go into different kind of comedy shows, sitcoms and whatnot. And that also transfers over to the movies that I watch. I prefer comedies really more than anything else. I just like to laugh. There's so much seriousness that goes on in the world. There's way too much of it. My best escape is just something to laugh at.
Sure.
And the thing that makes me laugh harder than anything else is when I watch these comedies and you can kind of see in the background and you see that the other actors on there are doing their damnedest to not break character.
Oh, yeah. That was the best thing about the Carol Burnett show. And if you watch reruns of that show, it'll still hold up. But it's just those guys made it a point to try to crack each other up. And, I mean, they could barely hold it together. And they taped the show live. And so, it wasn't a live show, but they taped it. And they did not edit it.
Right.
So whatever happened just kind of happened.
Right. And
that's why we know Jimmy Fallon.
100%. I was just about to bring it up. Jimmy Fallon notoriously
can't get through anything.
No, he could never get through. And that made him more likable. Bill Hader, same thing on SNL.
Oh, yeah.
He's fantastic at what he does.
He was
However,
very good, but if you made him laugh, it was done.
You're damn right. You're damn right. As soon as it did. So, as far as a couple titans when it comes to this, one of the ones that comes to mind is Will Ferrell and his ability and what you hear from other people that are on his sets, that he goes after everybody on that set at some point. If he's got a one-on-one with you, he's going to try to get you laugh on camera. Well, he's also got a cohort that would do the same thing in John C. Reilly. And it recently came out that John C. Reilly actually made him break character. So Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly worked amazingly together in both Talladega Nights and Step Brothers. But Will says that on Talladega Nights, there was only one time that Reilly really made him break character. Last week, Will spoke in Riley's honor at the Oscar Wilde Awards, which honor Irish-American artists, and he said that John got him during the scene where his character is in a coma. And so at this point, Ricky Bobby has been into an accident. He's in a coma in the hospital, and he's got all of his pit crew and all of his friends that are coming to visit him. And we have John C. Reilly confessing this.
Hey, Ricky. It's me, Cal. Just want you to know I got your back, bro, no matter what. There's something I want to get off my chest. And it's about that summer when you went away to community college. I got an offer to do Playgirl magazine. And I did it. I did a full spread for Playgirl magazine. I mean spread, man. I pulled my butt apart and stuff, and I was totally nude, and it was weird. I mean, you probably didn't hear about it because I went under the name of Mike Honcho. And I just wanted you to know that. If you could hear me, if it got into your brain somehow, that I spread my butt cheeks as Mike Honcho.
So this is going to be a surprise to nobody. That was completely improvised. He says, quote, John comes to me to confess that he once posed for Playgirl under the name of Mike Honcho. And yes, he did spread his butt cheeks. That was all improvised. And I swear you just see me hanging on for dear life. And they do pan over to Farrell's face from time to time. And he's clearly still very much alive and awake, just trying to close his eyes. And you can see like one of his eyebrows start to raise. That is one of my favorite things is when you see two guys that are trying to crack each other there. And that got me thinking. And I eventually found this from MovieWeb.com, and it's basically the comedy duos that had perfect chemistry, because I believe Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly to be one of those duos. I did grab a couple of highlights as far as where I could to see if I can get a little bit of a taste of all that. So we mentioned Talladega Nights. The other one I think is a great work of art is Step Brothers. If you haven't seen it before, it's a fantastic comedy. Here's a little exchange.
Hey! Did you touch my drum set?
Hey, knock it off!
I know you touched my drumstick, because the left one has a chip in it.
You should be medicated.
You, Brennan. I know you touched my drum set, and I want to hear that dirty little mouth admit it.
You get out of my face, or I'm going to roundhouse your ass.
You swear on your mom's life that you didn't touch it then.
I don't have to sort of
That's because you touched my drum set, because I know Cops doesn't start till 4.
That's why it was all sweaty. He was watching Cops. Doesn't start till 4. They go with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. From Edgar Wright's Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy, they journeyed together, goes far as back as the late 1990s in the British television sitcom Spaced, playing friends in almost all appearances together. The real-life relationship between the two bleeds over into their roles, and the two have teamed up to produce some truly memorable comedy. They did...
Simon Pegg's hilarious.
He is. They did Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz came out. What was the other one that was in that trilogy?
Right, because they called it a trilogy, man, and I don't remember. I just read this kind of recently, too, and I can't remember.
It's like At World's End or something like that. I don't remember. Something to that regard, but those two definitely hit for a while there. Here's another one out of SNL. See if you guys can guess who they were.
Look at this, Deborah. A lifetime supply of frozen chicken. A chicken man. Imagine years after years after years of chicken. Right into fingertips. Each chicken looks as good as this one. That's a chicken man guarantee. If your mom likes chicken, you might like chicken.
Two that were just a problem.
Not that I can tell by their accents, but I'm going to guess Amy Poehler and Tina Fey.
It was not Amy Poehler or Tina Fey. That was Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph.
okay.
Them playing their, I forget what they called them, but they were the showgirls, basically, and they did have a little reprise during the 50th anniversary. The two have worked together on a handful of different projects. I know that Bridesmaids was one of the movies that they did. And same thing. It's one of those, the synergy between the two fueled some really, really great
kind of
comedy.
makes it better.
Absolutely.
Between those two and Kate McKinnon, I mean...
Oh, yeah. Kate McKinnon definitely could get thrown in there. They go with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum?
Which, other than, like, the 21 Jump Street movies,
right?
I don't know that I've seen these two together a whole lot, but they say big screen adaptations of 80s television shows don't always land well in theaters and can often sometimes leave moviegoers disappointed. The trend was bucked in 2012 with 21 Jump Street, led by comedic directors, starring Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. The film receives rave reviews, with most praising the chemistry and hilarity of the two leading men. The chemistry would carry over into a sequel to the film, as well as promotional interviews throughout the film. Now,
I would argue, though, that Jonah Hill has good chemistry, and I don't know if it is true in real life, but on screen, with anyone you put him with.
Yes.
He just has a style of delivery that no matter who the other character is, he's awesome.
He's kind of that A character that he can be funny by himself. However, he like you said, it gets very easy to just kind of join in on his style of comedy.
It seems to let the other actor kind of take the lead almost.
Right.
And he will just fill in the gaps of what you didn't do that he thinks to be funny.
Right. And Channing Tatum does have some good timing, and he does have some good comedic prowess, but I think Jonah Hill's kind of the one breaking his back carrying that particular duo here. We're going to get a throwback on this one. Here's again, we're covering the comedy duos with perfect chemistry. I need to watch these movies because I know that they're going to be fantastic. See if you can guess them.
What are you doing?
I'm getting bad. You better get bad, Jack, because you ain't bad. You're going to get
Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder. I almost said Hackman. I'm like, I know something.
Get down. Hey. Do some of these. Right on. Here. That's right. We bad.
We bad.
That's right. You don't want no damn right. That's right. Say no. No. That's right.
That's another one that it seems like they have two different styles of comedy. However, they just worked together.
They work great together. It's like peanut butter and jelly. Until someone put them together, you would not think one should work with the other.
No.
Then you do it and you go like, damn, man, this is a great combination.
Because Gene Wilder, like, he was doing Young Frankenstein. He was Willy Wonka, for heaven's sakes. Richard Pryor, I feel like, was fantastic comedian, but he was kind of known for being the more dirty comedian. He was
absolutely
cuss words all the time. His language was absolutely foul, and so it was this weird dynamic, this hot and cold, that just married together.
They did a couple of movies, dude, and they stand up. Like, they will look dated, but the jokes are still hilarious.
Yeah, Silver Streak's pretty good.
Yeah, and this was stir crazy that I got that clip for, just in case anybody wants to check that one out. Here's one that you were missing from Saturday Night Live was Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. I looked through a library of different things. There wasn't any real solid exchange between the two that I could set down within a good time frame to be able to put it on here during the show. But it's unmistakable. The chemistry between Amy Poehler and Tina Fey far exceeds the six movies that they featured in together, but expended their days working at Saturday Night Live with one another and their handful of presenting and hosting duties throughout the years. I feel like if at any point you had Amy Poehler or Tina Fey hosting anything, the other was in tow.
Think about it. They hired both of them, was it Golden Globes, Oscars, whatever it was, because it made sense. You kind of go like, yeah, of course they should be out there together.
Exactly. Here's a comedic duo that, again, you wouldn't see it coming because you don't quite know either of them as all that big of comedy folks. However, they're just more in funny situations. But they recently got a show on Netflix that really brought their chemistry together.
I had a towel, and now it's disappeared.
There's a towel on the back of the door.
No, that one has dirt on it.
That's not dirt. I used it to kill a bug.
That would be Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy.
Oh, yeah. Think about Best in Show, all the movies that they did together.
Did they actually do other movies together?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I did not know this.
They're
kind of like SCTV alum.
The beginning of it was Spinal Tap. All the same writers, all the same people are involved in all those movies. So when you think of Waiting for Guffman and, Best in Show, I mean, hell, I can't remember them all, but every single thing that they did that's like a mockumentary.
No kidding.
Is absolutely fantastic.
See, the only thing I knew Eugene Levy from was the American Pie movies, which he had his funny moments in it, but I wouldn't put him down as the funny one in that movie.
Have you seen Best in Show?
No.
You got to watch that movie.
Yeah. Best in Show.
It's got your girl in it. What's her face? That you can do the imitation of.
It's got
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge.
She's in there. Like it's awesome.
Is she the Best in Show?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's basically what it is. She's a rich. She married a billionaire. It's kind of like the Anna Nicole Smith who marries the guy that's like 95 years old.
Oh, God.
And she talks about the things that they enjoy together. Well, we like soft foods. And
soft foods.
And being quiet.
Sticking to comedy duos that have moved on to a streaming service. This is a long-storied comedy duo. They had their days in Saturday Night Live. They made all their movies. They are currently making their own Hulu show together. Check them out.
It's Tie-Dye Guy. Okay, we got to follow them. I'm going to get my car. You stay on them. All right, I'll wait. Wait, you have a car? Go after them on foot, and then call me when you know where they are, and then I'll swing by and pick you up. Okay, I'll wait. You pay for parking here?
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yep.
I mean, you go back to the Three Amigos.
Absolutely. I haven't watched a whole lot of their movies, but there was an odd comfort every time the two of them were on screen together.
Yeah, this is something that they're very perfect together.
I'm actually looking forward to the new Cheech and Chong movie, just from growing up. Are they the greatest comic duo of all time? They were just funny at the time.
They were.
So they have a new one coming out. I think it's like their last ride or whatever the deal is, but that should be pretty good.
Absolutely, I agree with that. They say that Martin Short and Steve Martin have all the chemistry of an old married couple, and it produces some of the best comedy that we've ever seen between two performers. Whether it's their live stage show, Short's cameo and Martin's Father of the Bride, or their murder investigation friendship with Selena Gomez and Only Murders in the Building, the two feed off of one another, making each other better and funnier in the process. And I fully agree with that. I feel they completely accent each other. One that was not on this list, and Ryan Castle kind of gave me the push to find this clip and make it here. It's another Saturday Night Live alumni duo, one that is highly regarded. Check them out.
She's a court low.
Oh, yeah? Then guess what? Open it back up and put it in. That's your penance for the puppet show back there. And while you're at it, fill it up with gas, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ask directions to our next huge, embarrassing failure.
You're a huge, embarrassing failure.
What?
Nothing.
I'm so sad that I didn't get to experience Chris Farley and David Spade back in their heyday.
You still can.
Yeah, I know. I
just
could
go back and watch those movies.
Just the chemistry that, at first I was going to grab the van down by the river, but that was mostly all Farley.
Even David Spade. Joe Dirt's a great movie. I mean,
it is.
Farley wasn't in that, but I mean, I'm telling you, you forget, this stuff is still good.
Yes. And I love going back and seeing these old comedies and knowing that it's still good.
Joe Dirt basically ripped off the formula for Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So if you watch the movie, they're almost paralleled as far as it's just, the life of this guy instead of the life of Forrest Gump. But it's based on,
I love it.
History and all that crap.
I'm going to leave you guys with what I believe to be is the number one comedy duo of all time, old radio guys. It's a classic bit.
On the St. Louis team, we have who's on first, what's on second. I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the fellas on the St. Louis team.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second. I don't know's on third.
Do you know the fellas' names?
Yes.
Well, then who's playing first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The fellow playing first base for St. Louis.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who is on first?
Have you got a first baseman on first?
Certainly.
Then who's playing first?
Absolutely.
Well, all I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
Oh, no, what is on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, don't change the players.
I'm not changing nobody.
Take it easy.
What's the guy's name on first base?
What's the guy's name on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third. We're not talking about him.
Jesus. Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? Comedy duos with perfect chemistry there. What are you going to watch tonight? You got Survivor over on CBS, The Masked Singer over on Fox. Celebrity Jeopardy quarterfinals are tonight on ABC. They got Sean Gunn, Darcy Carden, and Sherry Cola. And The Floor is on Netflix, or on Fox. Have you watched The Floor yet, Steve?
You're telling me to watch this, man. Look, I see the commercials.
You're going to love it, man.
Are you sure?
Yes, you're going to love it.
If you're wrong, I get to stab you in the kidney with a fork tomorrow.
Done. Agreed.
Sweet. On the air.
Agreed.
On the air.
Late night tonight, check out Jimmy Fallon. He's got Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, and Carrie Underwood.
All right. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. Headlines are coming up next. You are listening to The Men's Room.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A prison officer blows her employment and ends up behind bars. Meanwhile, a Missouri man likes to get intimate with passenger train cars. Passed out man is upset when brother-in-law fills his belly button with glue. A cow escapes Houston rodeo in an attempt to avoid being beef stew. An Oregon dad puts a stop to his daughter's abusive boyfriend. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story. We go to the lovely world of the internet where a prank has gone too far. Following a family barbecue, a man had a few too many and elected to sleep it off inside of the house. That was the moment that his brother-in-law, who was completely sober, decided to have a little fun. Waiting until his brother was asleep, he snuck up beside him and filled his belly button with super glue. That's funny, though. I know this sucks, but that was funny.
It is. It's easy enough to get out of.
Yeah, you'd think. Sometime during his slumber, the man had managed to touch the glue as some was on his finger when he woke up, but things got worse as it had adhered to his skin and was beginning to tear as they attempted to remove the glue. They were eventually forced to go to the hospital to get the glue removed, landing the man a bill of over $2,000 in medical bills that he intends to get every dollar out of his brother-in-law. He's refusing to pay the bill, so the man filed a lawsuit against him.
And won.
And won.
He won.
Which it makes sense. At the end of the day, like, okay, this is assault. Like,
Sure.
Right.
I've got a penis drawn on my forehead. It is assault.
It's assault, right?
It is.
And that's the problem. I hate the black and white of all of it. Technically, like, no, screw that. It was a prank that went bad. Brother-in-law, chip in some for the medical bills that you caused. But at the same time, you got wasted at the dude's house, passed out on his couch, and he poured super glue in your belly button.
I think part of the reason his brother-in-law doesn't want to pay is because, like, you sued me? Really, man?
Right.
For F you.
Right. In other news, to Missouri, where one man's love will not be stopped. We toasted this man earlier today. Police got a call from passengers regarding a man exposing himself at the local train station, though, in my opinion, he did not care about any of them.
No.
Following surveillance tapes, they tracked him onto a train, noting that as the train was coming to the station, he proceeded to pull out his genitalia and attempted to have relations with his seat on the train for about 10 minutes. He was soon tracked down and arrested, and it should be noted, this was the second attempt in less than a year that this man made to get groovy with the train seat, as it were.
Got good stamina.
He does. 10 minutes.
10 minutes on the seat. Yeah.
That's some good timing.
The seat's not really giving him any real play. Damn. Any real play.
Got back out there.
That was terrible.
Exactly. But you know what? The seat was just looking at him right. It was putting on the moves on him.
If I live in St. Louis and I take the Metrolink, I'm like, can you please let us know what seat it was?
Yeah, no kidding.
Because I don't want to sit there.
I also want to see how sexy the seat is.
I mean, like I said, they have some good-looking seats on the St. Louis Metrolink.
Just sitting there in its lingerie with its top down.
Just teasing me.
Little slut. Down in Eugene, Oregon, where we're ready to hear this guy out, a man was arrested after he broke into an apartment and stabbed the man inside. Damn. Truth be told, the man knew exactly who lived inside of that apartment, as his daughter was one of the residents, the other being her boyfriend. Yes, he stabbed her boyfriend. He was visiting from out of town and had secured a key to the apartment from his daughter, who let himself inside while she was at work. When she got home, she found that there had been a dispute leading to the stabbing. Because you see, the man had gotten wind of the fact that the boyfriend had abused her 2 weeks prior. Mm-hmm. And the dad's facing charges. At that point, he doesn't care about the charges.
So is the boyfriend. Boyfriend's also facing charges.
Yeah, for menacing or something like that.
I don't know the specifics of it, but it was just like, basically it was this. This dad goes there specifically for a reason. To confront that guy who beat his daughter's ass.
Correct.
Whatever the outcome is, maybe you don't get stabby, but I don't think that's an irrational action on
not at all
for any father.
I think it's a natural reaction that a father has if you find out that a boyfriend is abusing your daughter.
Yes,
absolutely.
I mean, I think we all have that trigger. Like, man, we're normal, but don't f with my kids.
That's right. Start talking.
I don't care how old they are.
Start talking.
You don't even care the animal.
No.
Hey, mama bear, anything.
F off, dude.
Are you a mammal? You messing with someone's kids? Bad news comes your way, man.
That's right. Well, there's even the parents that'll go after the animals that are messing with their kids. You know, the mom that'll chase down a bear, a doggone bear. In no scenario would you charge a bear other than it's got your kid.
There's a story out of Italy. This was probably like in the 1970s. The lion that escaped from a zoo. The mom was on the phone inside of her home. Her child was in the backyard playing. Anyway, she spots the lion in the backyard. And look, the lion had not attacked the kid. She just sees that the lion is in the yard with the kid. Kid was 3 years old, I believe. When the authorities got there, mom did not remember what had happened, but the kid was safely inside. The lion was in shock and had several broken ribs. Think about that. And she's like, I don't know what happened. I got
She
my
saw
kid.
red.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
You
that's
go-
how it works.
Yeah, you go primal quick.
Yeah, real quick.
But just in case those stories,
Unless it's a chimpanzee.
just in case those stories have a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
We go to Iowa, and with many of these good news stories, it gets bad before it gets good. Surveillance footage was reviewed after a 4-year-old dog was found abandoned outside of an animal shelter. The video shows the previous owner of the dog parking across the street and leading to the animal to a cage in front of the shelter, which had already moved to a different location, leaving the building empty, and the dog was left alone overnight in 18-degree weather, underneath a sign giving the shelter's new address. They said, "We moved here," and it was under that sign. Luckily, a good Samaritan spotted the animal, took her in before bringing her to a different humane society where the dog is getting plenty of love and attention as she awaits her new forever home. The shelter's being a hell of a lot nicer than I would in this situation. Like, we love to reach out to the owners and let them know the proper procedures for surrendering an animal. Because what you guys did was not one of them. We understand that sometimes people find that there's no way out, blah, blah, blah. It's like you left your doggone dog out there in 18 degrees.
You knew better than what you did.
Correct.
Right? Whatever else you didn't know, you knew better than that.
That's right. Men's Room Sports brought to you by the fine folks at Sports on What. Pretty big news concerning the Seahawks. Reports are coming in that star wide receiver DK Metcalf is requesting a trade from the team, and the organization is already having talks in that regard. And this comes on the same day that they released another wide receiver, Tyler Lockett, no longer with the team. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Getting up there, and he's been a stalwart with the Seahawks. DK is so much trouble. I'm sure they'll look cool.
Absolutely. A great game last night for the Seattle Kraken, hosting the Minnesota Wild as they were down 4-1 early in the second period, managing to reduce that gap to 4-3 in the final seconds of the second period. But the Wild ultimately shut the Kraken down for the remainder of the game to take the win. They will play against the Predators tomorrow evening. More news on that I got after I'd already written this out is that we also had a 3-way trade between Washington and Tampa, in which case we got one player. I don't remember his name. We got a handful of picks, but we did lose Yanni Gord and Jamie Alexiak in that trade as well, so they are no longer with the team. They go over to Tampa. Good luck to them. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for this team. We're going to miss you. As far as what you're going to watch tonight, you got college and NBA basketball, NHL hockey, and Champions Cup soccer featuring your Seattle Sounders. Find out where to watch all those games in one convenient location, the Sports on What app. As far as your weather, we're gonna have some cloud cover tonight as things cool down to a brisk 39 degrees, giving us another decent day tomorrow with mostly sunny skies and a high of 53. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the game known as Big Dummy. The lovely Jolene is up next.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's Atlassian.com/CONFLUENCE.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.